Shazam. I see it, Greg. Give me a sec. Oh. Watch out for my cables and plugs and stuff. Actually, that stupid. God damn. Too many cables. Shazam. I hear you. Everything good?
I'm alright.
Hey, JB, what's up? Shazam. So as you can see, I gave up on that puzzle. I was prepared to do it to the end, 10, 15, 20 hours, whatever. But it gave me such a headache twice today. It's like, I'm done. You had to eyeball every piece so carefully because, 80% of it looked the same. Blue with yellow on every piece, which means there's no unique way to identify it. And I started with what I thought would be the easiest because it had the smallest count, the yellow, and that was just a nightmare. So it's like, nope, not doing it. Not doing it.
AirPods not connecting.
What was that?
My AirPods.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Are you using that to listen to the stream?
Yep.
Yeah. You might find that wireless connections will be more sketchy than being actually wired, but sometimes I use the AirPods to listen, but not as a microphone.
I use my iPhone.
Okay. Hey, Ryan Rick, how you doing? Ryan Brick. Why did I say Ryan Rick? That's funny. So, yeah, I boxed up that puzzle, put it back in a box. We'll give it to my mom this weekend. She loves puzzles. That will keep her busy. She'll probably fly through it and do it in 5 hours to make me look silly. But
yeah.
So my next speed champs, I'm doing them in order by set number, is this Lotus Evija. Although I got a feeling I'm pronouncing that wrong. I think it's just Vija. I don't think you pronounced the E, but I'm not 100% on that.
I pronounced it Evija.
Evija? That makes as much sense as anything to me. It's a what?
You wish they made the Lotus submarine?
I didn't catch that at all. I'm sorry.
You wish they made the Lotus submarine?
A Lotus submarine?
I love them.
You're really in and out. I don't know if you're using the headset is the problem or what, but you're more in and out than usual.
The Lotus submarine off of The Spy Who Loved Me.
Okay. Yeah, that was a good movie. I like Bond movies. Let's see. So we got our little, all our caps.
There
2 sets.
Go. There we go. I just had to put it back in the case and take it back out.
Oh, to get it to reconnect?
Yep.
Yeah, sounds pretty good. There's our stickers. Very dark green.
I have mine built.
Yeah?
Yep.
Well, you don't currently have a backlog, right? Everything you've got's built. You're caught up.
Yep.
I basically got a lifetime of stuff to catch up on. I mean, I could build one set. If let's say time wasn't an issue, I could build one set a day, and it would still take me a couple of years. Well, it would take me 2 anyway if I could do one a day. But some of these sets are monstrous.
Yep.
see. Yeah, that's bag 1. I like the green. Green is nice. See, this guy kind of looks like a green Spider-Man almost. One face. Okay. Helmet. I'm guessing there's a trans clear in here. Ooh. Oh, who's joining us? Shazam.
Hey, guys.
Hey, buddy. How you doing? So I'm going to look into your question tomorrow. I'm going to
Yeah, sure. There's got to be an easy way.
John, because he's IT for Connect Hired.
That Dylan?
Yeah,
Hey, Dylan. How's it going?
nothing much.
What are you playing?
Back for Blood,
What system is that on?
PlayStation.
Nice.
You got PlayStation?
I got the old PS3 hanging on for dear life.
Oh, PS3.
With lots
Nice.
and lots of games that I've yet to even try. Because when I think it was when the PS4 came out, they discounted all the PS3 games to like $5 a pop.
Do you know
Like-
if your PS3 has the PS2 chip in it?
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
I
you know for a fact it doesn't? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because there's a very telltale sign if it has a little flap that opens on the front of it.
Oh, okay.
It has the retro. But I have a PS2 too, which is even more funny. But I would love to have a
which is
PS2
great to
that
have, but I definitely know like if
I'll find one. Yeah,
It's definitely nice to have it, so you could
'Cause I do-
without using emulation, you could play the game
Yeah, yeah.
straight as opposed to the way they do on the other version. But
yeah, I like to do it. So who's online tonight? Is JB Awesome's on? Ryan Brick
Ryan Burke, yeah. You.
and
I would love to have a PlayStation 5 though.
oh yeah,
A lot of people would. Apparently,
is it still?
Apparently, in some areas, it's still tricky to get one.
Really? Meanwhile, people are showing warehouses full of like thousands of them.
Oh
sitting-
yeah, well that's the people who bought it to buy it, and then all the backdoor deals, and
yeah.
while Sony wouldn't be the one I would have gone with, I'm always an Xbox guy, but I just been left out of the current generation, so the last 2 of them just stayed out of it. And
Well, it's funny how electronics jumps in these waves, because even TVs, like you look at some of these TVs, and I see people recording clips playing off of their TVs. The motion and the clarity and the 4K is just crazy wicked.
forget
Right?
the 4K. Forget the 4K.
What's it at now? 8 or what?
Well, no. That the speed refresh rate, 120 hertz becoming
my
the new
God.
standard.
Really?
240 on a lot of TVs.
Really?
Now some of it is BS because some of it.
Oh, it's manufactured. It's
Some of it is
fake.
just computer math, and it's not great. But some of it is legit 120 hertz and 240 hertz.
I'd like to see that. That'd be
The
interesting.
thing is that you can equate that almost 1-to-1 to frame rate. And
Yeah.
the problem with that is the human eye, you really only catch 30 frames and a little bit better. And after that, it's wasted on you.
Yeah.
So
What was the
when the
industry standard?
gamers are going ape shit for
Yeah.
60, 90, 120 frames a second, they honestly can't see that fast. The human eye doesn't pick up light like that.
Yeah.
Hey, it's great that you can set up a sensor in front of a computer or in front of a screen. It'll tell you, yeah, it's hitting those numbers. That's great. You can calibrate for that, but you can't see that.
This actually reminds me of a little story about the human eye, being that there is no such color. I think it's the purple doesn't actually exist. It's your
Really?
brain, your eye is figuring out, okay, well, this seems like it's between this color and this color, so this is what we're going to give you. And it's all about perception. And you're right. It's just like how they're saying that we can only see so many frames per second or perception.
Yeah,
There could be things going around us at a different speed. We would never notice this stuff.
sure.
Right.
Yeah,
And it's very much.
which is what I
bugs-
would expect. the
Yeah, because
case
what
to
is it?
be.
I think is it the mosquito or the fly? They can see things in slow motion, so that's why it's very hard to catch them.
Oh,
right.
really?
So when you're going at it,
I thought it was more related to the way their eyes and lenses, the facets.
So that's the viewing area. I'm talking about
because it just
speed.
seems like they get all these.
Yeah, so
different
imagine
spots that
they can
see at
catch
one
your
time.
hand, right? They can catch your hand moving faster than you realize you're getting closer to to the thing, to the
Wow.
mosquito or fly. So it's really cool how it all works. And we're only like was it perception of vision, like the
Hey,
wavelengths?
OBR.
We're only getting a
Shazam.
little bit.
Dan, if you haven't, you should check out OBR's videos.
Yeah.
When he does a review video, he takes you on a journey that's
Oh, yeah?
unique compared to anyone in the Lego scene. Yeah.
Let's take a look here. I'm gonna pull up YouTube while I got it here. All right. So what is it? Open,
build, repeat.
build. Cool.
He won't bog you down with like a daily review. Like, he's not that guy. He'll put time and effort and thought into one video.
Cool.
Take you on a journey and tell you a story while he's doing it, and it sets. You know what? It's really unique. I dare say I don't know of another person doing that out there.
All right, let's take a look here. Open, build, repeat. Oh, there you go. Okay, so mainly Lego.
Well, the stuff I watch is Lego. I'm not sure if he's got other content, and I'll be the first to admit I don't get to see everything.
Let's see here. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, you owe me $20, right? No, buddy, no problem.
All right. Yeah, cool. I'm gonna save it here. And oh yeah, there's all the stuff. Lego, Technic, all the regular car stuff like you. Awesome. Oh, even the fender. Yeah, that's a good one. And then the shop stuff. Cool. That's what you call a true fan.
You know, he builds what he likes and not just what's trending, because that's what everyone else is doing.
That's kind of what I want to do with the mega stuff, is kind of go back into a little bit of a time warp and go back to the beginning and see how it all came forward. That's why it's so fun finding these rare, unique little old sets, things that people were just picking up in their grocery stores for their kids. You know what I
Check
mean?
out this piece. I don't recall ever seeing this. So it's shaped like a 2x2 plate.
Oh, it's got
on one side, it's got a Technic brick with a hole in it. Look at that.
So they did it as a step.
Isn't
almost.
That weird? Yeah.
And what's that going to be used for?
That's a good
Is it for the axle?
No. I've already put pegs in for wheels, so no. But I don't recall seeing this piece before. I'm going like, what the hell is this?
I want to get a second Portsdown 11 set.
Oh yeah? And you're going to build an alt build with it?
It's a replicable B model.
Okay, nice.
Probably next paycheck though.
Are the instructions free for that one, or is that one you have to buy?
I have to buy the instructions.
That's okay. Usually it's worth it. I've got about 50 sets of maybe 45 sets of instructions. Haven't built too many of them, but because it costs, to get some of the parts that I don't already have, like it can be costly, but still wicked cool to do some of these builds.
There's a 911 Turbo S. There's a Lamborghini Countach I want to do.
Okay. I'm hoping they give us, the same scale as the Mustang. I'm hoping they give us a Countach. I would love to do a big one. Like let's see. Actually, the next Speed Champs is the Countach, so that's gonna be nice. Talking with a friend who's got most of the parts together, so I could probably build that in either red or black if I want to. I'll just have to do a repaint on the roof, the canopy, because there isn't a black matching one or a red one, but it'd be real easy to black it out. Hey, David. Shazam. Seems like I've picked up a lot of new fans just by doing the car build so much. Everyone goes, I got those, and that's cool. Hey, there's a reason I'm building them. They're awesome. I got sucked in. I almost don't think of Star Wars anymore. I caught up on the Bad Batch.
Yeah. What did you think of it?
So was it like episode 5? I think it was.
Was it the treasure hunt?
Yeah.
What did you think? They're filling episodes, aren't they? The fillers.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Hey, and you know what? I remember the lean years where after Return of the Jedi, we had nothing forever. Until 2001, and it's like, so like a lot of Star Wars guys who are older, we'll take whatever we can get, but it's starting to hurt a little. Like it just feels like you're just spinning your wheels and spending time, and that's, I don't know. I don't want to say I'm falling out of love with it, but it's like I can't wait till the live action Ahsoka. And
yes.
Mando season 3.
Yep, that's coming soon in a month, right?
Yeah,
that's gonna be good because they're gonna be all over the place with that one.
Because even the cartoon, like the original Clone Wars, it really, for me, didn't get good until season 3 or 4.
Yeah,
and then when it died at the end of season 6, and they gave us a season 7 when they brought it back, like that was nice when they finished all those episodes that were unfinished, but. Clone Wars wasn't great in the beginning either, in my opinion. So, I mean, I'm willing to give it more time, but I don't know. It just feels like they're spinning their wheels, treading water with the Clone Wars right now.
Like the Bad Batch was starting off with the next thing, but it sounds like they're just on some random adventures. Where's the tie-in, right?
Yeah. Like, I'll tell you, between Clone Wars, Rebels, and Bad Batch, I prefer Rebels.
Yeah,
4 seasons or whatever, Rebels, I loved it all. I didn't feel there was a weak season amongst all that. I tell you, though, everyone is waiting. When are they going to give us another Rebels Ghost, right? Like, I'm looking at the setup there on my shelf now. And so this year we're going to build the Ghost and both versions of the shuttle.
Nice.
Which people are going to be shocked, like, oh my God, you cracked it open. It's like, well, yeah. Actually, I cracked it open within a day of getting it because that was one of those ones I ordered from Australia. And I needed to make sure it had those figures in there, So I just opened it up, made sure it's all legit, saw all those rare figs, the purple one being the big one. And it's like, okay, it's good. I don't need to build it anytime soon. And that was like 3 or 4 years ago. And it's just been sitting there waiting patiently for me to get around and build it. But, I mean, everyone who has it or wants it, they just would love to see it either reissued or a new build or a UCS build. All the above.
They're probably going to get a lot of new business doing those bigger builds, eh?
Well, sure.
Because it's a whole nother scale, right?
Yeah. Well, every time they do a minor tweak, I mean, the X-Wings, the TIE Fighters, they sell. And as long as they got something of interest, they'll do, it'll do great. I know the TIE Bomber isn't necessarily what a lot of people wanted, but some of us have been waiting for a new TIE Bomber for years. So even if it's place scale one, we don't care. We'll eat it up. And we know they've got a UCS one waiting in the backgrounds. We know it's going to come sooner or later because they already teased it. So should be interesting.
Mm-hmm. And they gotta get more themes going that are generic, that they're not like the Speed Champs is awesome. You're getting cars for everybody. Anybody will like a car eventually, right? Yeah. And but like even with Mega, with the just do a space theme, do that has no licensing needed. They did the train heist, they did the Coast Guard heli that you saw in the Pro Builder line. Why aren't they pumping out more of these sets that come with figures, right?
Yeah.
your big sets don't come with figures, right? Those like the space shuttle and the space station and all that
No.
stuff.
Well,
So
because the scales are all over
yeah,
the place, right?
but
No
even then they
consistent
don't
scale.
include one for fun, do they?
Not usually.
Yeah.
Not in these non-themed, non-licensed products.
Oh,
Yeah,
I got the I forget what set it is. Maybe you guys know the name of it. It's the one that has the three fossilized dinosaurs with the little minifigs. It's like a museum set.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about, right? It's
What's
got
an
the
idea?
T-Rex.
Was it an idea set?
I don't remember, but I did pick one up for like $40 used. Somebody was just getting rid of their built Lego sets. I thought that was amazing because it has the white Lego bones.
21320.
I'm not sure, but it has 3 skeletons and then the little
Yeah.
two minifigs, right?
Oh yeah,
Something like
it's an
that?
idea set. Now
Is it?
here's the problem with that one.
What?
Well, it's white,
Yeah.
right?
What's gonna happen?
Well, really, fossilized bones are never white. That's
Oh
number
yeah.
one.
Well,
And there was a lot of reasons they weren't going to. Some of those parts they were not going to redo in
cream or whatever.
Cream or whatever they call their flesh tone one. Yeah, to mimic the real color bone. Now, what's cool is you got that set. There was a regular city dinosaur museum set.
Oh,
It had 1 or 2 other dinosaurs, and they actually marry up really nicely if you buy both. Like if you wanted to have, yeah. In the last 2 years, it should actually you probably still find it on the shelf.
I'll have to take a look at that because I like that. Like I was who isn't into dinosaurs, right? But that one kind of. I said, who isn't into dinosaurs?
Yeah, everyone likes dinosaurs to some extent. And you were telling me that your kids are just like, oh my god,
we've always loved.
They can name them. They can name them and probably spell them all too.
Yeah. They're just. I don't know. To know a full dinosaur's Latin name, like the whole thing, that just amazes everybody. It's awesome.
And it goes to show you though what's changed. Like, at least they taught it to us as kids, but now like they don't. Not really.
No, they don't. Nope. It's I'm still.
And,
they do the
a
basic
lot of those
things
trips to the museums disappear too, like in Toronto.
Yeah, they're not doing that anymore.
Well, it used to be subsidized. Well, it's not anymore. Not to the extent it was. Grade 1 through grade 6 for me. You went on 1 trip a month, and we only paid, as a family, $1.25, $1.50, whatever it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything was subsidized. Well, these days for the Toronto Board of Ed, they're lucky if they're probably doing 2 trips a year.
Oh,
I mean, that's what killed the planetarium in Toronto. Yeah. As soon as the trips weren't subsidized for all grades, I think they only made it for the higher end ones. That killed the museum. That killed the planetarium.
Well, the COVID times kind of screwed all that up.
No, I mean way before that.
Even before that?
Oh yeah, way before that. I can't even tell you if the planetarium still exists downtown. I really don't know. If it's there, I don't know if it's just standing. No idea.
Because even here, we got the Children's Museum, and they have some exhibits and stuff like that, but it's nothing that we had like a kid going to a ROM on a school trip or something, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. I'm trying to find that set that you were talking about, but I can't see it.
The city dinosaur.
I'm gonna try and do a different look here.
Let's see.
They have all the Jurassic Park stuff.
Yeah, it's not Jurassic Park. It was.
Oh, here was it this one? No, that's Jurassic World.
Okay, not dinosaur fossils because that's the idea set.
And then there's a creator set.
Yeah. Wait, probably a creator set. Do you see a dinosaur one in creators?
Well, they have one that's like the green dinosaur, but it's not a fossil.
It was because this was kind of white or cream looking.
What's this 3-in-1? Is this another one? Nope. It's not important. I'll
It won't be hard. And I
Yeah.
have it somewhere because I did buy it thinking this would just be too cool. I got to put them together.
Okay. Yeah, because if it matches, I'd be interested in.
It matches reasonably well. Like it won't look wrong with it.
And just kind of whipping through this stuff. All right, let's see what's here. I'm getting to the point where my password list is getting so obscure across all the platforms. I'm forgetting what the hell I changed it
Well, you
to.
got to use a good manager.
Yeah, something
Good
safe,
password.
right?
Good password manager. LastPass is not bad. 1Password's not bad. I think KeyPass is still around, and they'll work on multiple platforms, not just your phone, and that'll make the difference too, right? Like
It works across that. Yeah. Okay. Good. So,
yeah, you know,
another
you
thing for the
can you
list.
can have them use you absolutely. For some people, they're just going to use Google and they'll
that's
use
safe?
Chrome.
I wonder.
It's as long as you're using something better than 128 or better encryption.
Okay. So then,
But it still requires you to be smart and not do some dumb things, right?
yeah, exactly.
What
do you use for password protection on your phone just to turn it on?
I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
No.
Oh, no, actually, when it comes to stuff like passwords, like
so like I'll rephrase it.
I'm very
superior. Yeah, do you?
That, even my home network.
Yeah.
Like I could give you passwords and you still can't get on my Wi-Fi.
Yeah, there you go. But you have stuff set up so that's not just wide open.
Yeah, it's super pain in the ass. No, it is. And
I bet.
It has caused us no end of heartache because of how tough I've made things.
Oh, what's this? February 5th, Ancaster Toy and Collectible Expo returns to the fairgrounds. Cool.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, that's the one I went to with my kids before Christmas. Okay. Yeah, it was decent. It was decent. I wonder if it'll be
Port Colborne's got a Hot Wheels show.
All the wheel
March 4th?
Yeah.
On a Saturday. I'm considering that one because I haven't been to that. I know that's a fair trek though.
That's a fair trek. I was about to say that's down there.
That's a fair trek. If I do that, I gotta definitely plan it and make sure that pays off. I mean, because that's a fair bit of gas too.
Mm-hmm. Like Ancaster wasn't that bad. It was only for me about 40 minutes ish drive. It wasn't too bad. We made a day out of it, so it was pretty good.
Well, that's it. And if I could do that on a Saturday, all the better.
And this will be a springtime, technically winter, but it's kind of like the show of the new year. So everybody's going to be raring to go. So that might be better packed for what it is.
Well, I'm also hoping because it's a different region. I'm just hoping. Yeah. You'll get something some different things too, right?
I did see people who populated the Woodstock show at that show. Because I saw the same type of vendors. Because there's some people there who are selling some of the color culture sets for $30 on the regular, and I'm like, oh yeah, I know who you are. I remember your prices. So people are still trying to get top dollar for their stuff. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really begrudge them. I just once I figure them out, then it's like, well, I'm going to avoid giving them my business to the best of my ability.
Mm-hmm. Are you looking for anything particular for the Hot Wheels or
no,
just random stuff, right?
Just the key cars that I like, and that's about it.
February 5th. Is that next weekend? Yeah, it is too. Can't believe January flew by. This is the first January that didn't drag on and on and on.
Oh, really?
It's kind of weird.
The way it felt here.
Yeah. Well, it was just next thing you know, you're like at the end of we're at the end of the month, 27th.
See, for me, it's just been so different because of the work situation. Like, just the whole business has changed, and it's like, wow, in good and bad ways, but just it's a different year, that's for sure.
And your work schedule's been kind of up and down, hasn't it?
Well, it's the volume, and I've elected at times to take plenty of time off, and sometimes it's paid off in the sense like if I wasn't feeling well, I'd rather have a volunteer time off that doesn't affect by standing or anything, then take a sick day. The sick days are paid, but they're limited. And then after a certain period of time, like, well, you don't want to have to deal with HR or whatever, you know.
GLS has a good comment for you. Yay, not a puzzle.
Oh, dude. Was he around her? I don't know if he was know. Earlier.
That you were having it, eh?
Oh, well, and that's the thing. He watched me do the other ones. Like, I've done probably 4 on my channel, and they're all long, and everyone's watched me get real frustrated, but I finished all of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this one is the one I like the most. I like the image the most, and it was by far the most frustrating. The easiest one I ever did was the one with the 64 minifigs. He had a lot of white space. Every figure is unique. So you look at the pieces and like it wasn't hard to identify uniqueness on every piece. Here, where you got 1,000 pieces and 800 of them look the same.
I saw that when the little faces in every little piece. I'm like, oh no,
yeah,
you're not gonna get away with
it. But I
it.
knew that going into it, but I just didn't really think it would be that bad. And it's like, and it sucks because I know, like, if I could have just gone another hour or two.
Well, let's put it this way.
Like, even on the Reds, like, it took me a solid 30, 40 minutes just to get like 12 or 20 pieces. But then it was starting like, okay, it's starting to work a little bit. No, I just never had it that bad. And I'm not a puzzle guy. I'm really not. So that's the thing. It was only because they were Lego related. And you know what? I think I got it out of your system now. Because, you know, that's 18 or 20 bucks. Well, hey, that's okay. You know, I give that to my mom, and that's great. No harm, no foul. Because I buy her puzzles anyway. So, I mean, that's okay. But and I also looked at it as, hey, you know what? That's 18 or 20 bucks for all those hours of content I would have on my channel. I got 6 out of it. That's still okay, I guess. But yeah, I think we're done with it. It better be pretty exceptional, or at least what I would call easy for me. And it's not that, you know, and I'm sure a lot of people look at that puzzle and go, it's not that hard a puzzle. And they're right. But for me, being not a puzzle guy.
Well, that, and you got to be in the mood for something like that too. I don't think you're in the mood for puzzles in the middle of.
Well, I looked at it.
Right?
Well, that was one thing. But see, because of the situation today, I knew that I wouldn't. I wasn't going to be able to live stream with audio the whole day, so I figured, well, I could do puzzles because, frankly, I'm going to be looking down at those pieces, not talking to anyone anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was good. Good filler. Right?
Yeah, and that's that's pretty much the way I looked at it. It's just filler for me.
So after this is what, the Lotus vehicle?
Yeah.
Oh, you got stickers on this one. Look at that.
Oh, well, all the speed
all
champs.
Oh, yeah.
All the speed champs are filthy with stickers.
So they ask you to put the stickers on as you build?
Sometimes right away, and other times they wait 5-6 pages, and then it's horrible. When I see something that's obvious, like, I'm always looking at the box, but here it's pretty much, okay, I'm at the right point, I'll do them. Shoot.
I was trying to figure out what the new shows that when you were talking about the Bad Batch and all stuff, that's the regular stuff, but there's nothing really new on these days other than waiting for the 2 biggies that are coming up.
Yeah.
There's nothing really exciting on TV anymore. Do you watch regular TV anymore? Like,
no, and actually that's a discussion me and my wife are having, because here's the thing. So Roger's coming tomorrow, 10 o'clock, and we're going to rip apart my cable and my internet.
Oh, yeah, it's Saturday. Yeah.
Wifey just took down the Christmas tree because, believe it or not, it was still up and it was in the way. So it's like, it was do it now or do it tomorrow morning. So she did it now. But yeah, it's not going to be fun tomorrow.
So what exactly is going to be the hardest part for tomorrow? Doing what? Installing the line?
No, it really shouldn't be. it should be relatively trouble free.
Yeah, I would think just modem plug in, test the signal, get your speed on it.
We do have the second TV and that connection, but that shouldn't be that big a deal.
But isn't it all via Wi-Fi now?
Well, it's all wireless, right?
Wireless, yeah.
So coming into place, that's coax, and then they'll have to run the coax to their box, wherever we're going to put their box. That'll transmit to their wireless satellites, one for the TV, well, one for each TV, right? And the internet will come off of that first box hookup. So it should be interesting. It could mean a 2 to 3 time increase for me. As long as it's not worse, I really won't care, because we're not doing it for a speed increase. We're doing it to save the money because they wanted to bump us up, right?
Okay, so they're giving you better service with the better.
Well, this is what they basically forced us into, because year after year we have resisted the new hardware.
Yeah.
I didn't want it in here. I didn't want wireless. I didn't want this. I didn't want that. We just want to pay the bill as is. Every time they bump it up, we say we're going to quit, put it back to what we were paying before, and that's worked until now, when they say, "Oh, we'll do it, but you got to get the new hardware. We're not supporting your old hardware anymore." It's like,
because the hardware is all about tracking and seeing your stuff.
Well, they can. Well, they were already doing that anyway.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact, like at 857 York Mills, which is where Rogers was housing all this infrastructure. They no longer clean and maintain these old boxes, and because this is like the old, I think it's the next box, NEXT box version 3 or whatever. They used to have guys like 64 employees that were sitting there cleaning them, bug spray, bug spraying them, because guess what? You get these things returned from people. Guess what's in them, right? All this crap. Well, they don't do that anymore. Now they rather go with the new cheap wireless setups, because guess what? When they get them back, if they're even sketchy at all, they pitch them.
They just pitch them. Yeah. Wow. Nice to add.
So cheap. Whereas like the weight of my old box, like that's a weapon. If someone comes in the door, you club them over the head. Game over. The little plastic boxes they have now. I mean,
the little tower,
a little plastic frisbee that or like a Nerf frisbee. It's not going to hurt anybody.
So funny.
Yeah.
I think it was you and me. We were talking about that old cable box back in the day with the wire to the TV and the flip.
The actual converter box.
The converter, the UHF stuff, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, did you miss having those TVs that were on the ground that were a piece of furniture?
Okay, so here's the thing. I was kind of fortunate that in my lifetime, I actually didn't have that. My dad was always kind of up on tech, so we always had the nicest TVs, pretty much. Yeah. And even like he had very nice Kenwood or was it Kenwood? I can't remember the name of the stereo we used to have. But I do remember some of the stuff. Like my grandfather had the old RCA record player / radio.
Inside?
It was that big piece of furniture with the big counter that would lift up. And then inside, that's where you had your tumblers for your drinks, right?
Oh, he had the whole setup.
So that was a beautiful thing.
The bar and music piece. Yeah.
And that's a memory I'm going to have forever, that people just don't know what that's like.
Where do you think that stuff's hiding, right? Like there must be some
vintage. If you could find one in good condition somewhere, that would be amazing.
Yeah, because record players are still a thing, right? Like records are still being made.
Best Buy sells them now.
Yeah, they're still being made. They're still selling the needles for the record players. All of it's still out there. Like even though DJs went to electronic, there's still some hardcore DJs that are rolling their Pioneer turntables from before.
But I find it funny that now you see these people who are buying vinyl. Yeah, if they're collecting old vinyl, that's great, but they're buying new vinyl. And Big Nate. And I think it's fascinating because as soon as you play a record once, the sound is degrading.
Yeah.
But it's amazing that people they're buying into this stuff.
So somebody was doing it where they actually are replacing their needle every time they play a record,
which is great.
Which I couldn't.
The needle isn't the biggest problem because you could go a long time on one needle.
But you think the vinyl's that crappy that it's degrading as they play it?
Well, if you play it once, it is, because you can absolutely look with the right tools at the track, and you'll see, oh, it is
God, man,
slightly worn.
I still remember when we were like
That doesn't mean
downloading
it'll be horrible, but it just means it is degrading. It is
like I honestly believe like when we had it, when it transitioned from vinyl to tape to CD, when you could hear the scratching, like the skips and the scratching and
when it was that bad. Yeah.
but it was when that was legit. We were like,
Yeah.
yeah, I can hear that this is off a record or whatever. Then it went to the CD quality, recorded quality. That was just like you could hear everything in your earphones and stuff like that. That was cool. But that you kind of nostalgically want to miss that old stuff. That old
yeah. I mean, there was something to it for sure.
Like, you're listening to your tape, your Walkman or whatever, you could hear the clicks and the it gets.
See, if you took care of like your CDs, right?
Yep.
Quality wise.
Oh, CDs are easy to keep clean.
Yeah.
If you're being a dumbass, right?
You polish them. You could fill fill in minor scratches. Like,
well, the gaming guys, the gaming guys for the Nintendo GameCube and all those other ones that use the discs, they make those things look brand new again.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
because I seen a guy who I think is like really popular. He does all the retro gaming, D something, I can't remember, on YouTube all the time or on the social, and those things come out crystal clear, brand new again, refurbished. Because it really, unless you're a complete dumbass with these discs using them as coasters or whatever, you're not going to have too many bad scratches on them, right? What do you think of the media Blu-ray still being popular? People still going out. They want to come back. They want to. Or,
I can't really comment on it because
no.
I own virtually no Blu-rays.
None? Yeah.
I was such a big DVD guy, and it didn't last that long. And then Blu-ray came. It's like, I already invested in these awesome DVDs. And I just had no interest. I'm not going to go out and buy the same movies again. And I just didn't see it. And then at the same time, that's when we started to, well, first, I was a huge pirate at the time. So while I was buying DVDs, I was digitizing everything that I was buying, and I was downloading everything you could imagine. So when the Blu-ray started to pick up, it's like, why am I going to reinvest again? Nah, I spent too much money the first time on DVD, and forget the first time on DVD, on videotape.
Yeah, the videotape people. Yeah, but it's funny. A lot of guys who still have their videotape collection are legitimately loving it. Still, they'll go back to the old library, like the older movies that were released on VHS that are now not allowed to be released anymore. Who was it that had one? I think it was somebody had. It was one of the Star Wars ones. And he had it on tape that had different stuff than what was released in theatrical. Because I ended up researching, or I guess they explained it. Lucas's wife, when they divorced, she had rights for the editing of the movies.
Really?
So he had to pay her royalties on that release. So then when he released his theatrical releases, which were changed substantially enough, he kicked her off the royalty payout for that stuff.
And she sued?
Well, no, because she couldn't do anything about it. She could only get paid on what she worked on.
Okay.
So
when he goes to re-edit, she's out.
She's out. She was out. And then,
nice.
So I guess he had to pay her alimony and the royalties on the movies. So he's like, yeah, I don't think so. So
that was kind of interesting. There was an edit that really bothered me. Remember E.T.?
Yep. Which one was it?
So E.T., when they did I guess it was the 20th anniversary or whatever, they did a major edit to remove all the guns as much as possible out of the hands of the agents.
Oh.
That was the only way they could secure Drew Barrymore to do any promotion for the release.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why? Because she didn't want it, or was it something?
She didn't want it. That's where she was in her life. That no. If you want that cute little girl, all grown up, talking about her time doing that movie.
Yeah. I wonder if nowadays, if it has her adult self, she would care about that. Probably not.
Well, the thing is, I mean, she was an adult when she drew that line in the sand.
Yeah.
But that was still. I mean, dude, when was E.T.? Almost 40 years ago.
Probably 80 something, right?
Got to be early 80s, right? 83, 86.
Let's find out. 82.
82. Yeah. Dude. So it's like, I would hope now that she's a little bit more open-minded to, you know what, let's preserve the history and not try and, you know, wipe it out and whitewash it. But who knows? You got to remember, you know, and as much as I love her to death, she's a product of drugs. You know what I mean?
Oh shit,
And
dude, she was
I mean,
doing drugs in her.
high. She was so high when I met her, because she filmed next door to me.
Oh, really?
When yeah. My street in Toronto
Really?
was used for a lot of film work, and she must have been 12 and 13 or something at the time.
Really?
Yeah. High as a kite the whole time.
They've documented that well. That
yeah, and well, she hides nothing. You don't go on David Letterman and flash her like that, you know, without being
somewhat having issues. Yes.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But you know, the family she grew up in, the Barrymores, probably not the best environment. She's lucky she come out reasonably sane.
Well, she's on top of the world now. She's got her own show.
Yeah, she's okay with it. You know, she's doing her own thing.
And, yeah.
Oh, hey, Eileen, how you doing?
So they did it.
Too bad she was a disappointment in Scream.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh.
It looks like they did a 40th anniversary IMAX release last year.
For the ET?
For the ET, yeah.
Yeah.
IMAX.
It's kind of sad. I'm so worried that someone's going to get the idea that, oh, this is when we could remake. I hope.
Oh no!
I hope they never touch it.
Oh,
it's bad enough they.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, so when I was telling you about the re-edits on the guns and stuff, like, so anyone with the original videotape, they're the ones who are smiling, because that's the best version if you want to know what it was supposed to be like. But anything that's been done in the last 20 years. No, that's not what you want to watch.
See, and the thing is too with that was old school animatronic, like, you know, puppets, all that kind of stuff, just like Jurassic Park and all that. That was the awesome part of that. The new CG stuff, CGI or whatever. I was just like, oh, enough with
even the
like,
best of it. I still don't want to see. Done with it. I really don't.
Yeah, no, it's just not worth it. What's this stuff here? I'm just seeing if there's any more info.
Although I gotta admit, you know what I saw? Someone did a 2-minute segment using Harrison Ford de-aging him.
Okay.
And it was brilliant. They have come so far with what they could do using deep fake and other techniques.
Well, what's cool too is the whole voice AI thing where they can, you know, they record your voice and then they can use it in the future. So who was it? James Earl Jones did it, right? For Darth Vader. We'll always have Darth Vader's voice now, which is awesome, right?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I don't have a problem with it, especially if people are giving permission while they're alive. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's super creepy when, you know, they've passed and people are doing stuff like,
I hope they took more advantage. Well, I don't know what they're going to do with Star Wars in the future, because who knows what they're going to end up doing for.
Mom was asking, finish the puzzle. Oh. Am I finishing the puzzle? Or I saw her puzzle, but I'm not. No, that puzzle went back in the box, my dear. I'm done with it.
Her puzzle's missing a piece.
Oh, no.
Yep. One piece. That's what she posted.
I think that's another one, because I think she had that before. It's like, that's the worst part. You put in all that time and you're missing a piece.
Missing one piece.
That's the worst feeling.
What was the theme here? I can't see it. It's so tiny. Come on. My computer's slow today.
Is that the Betty Boop?
Is that what it was?
Her most recent one?
Yeah,
I think
that's it. Yeah. All the different quilts.
Yeah, which is an awesome puzzle. I mean,
Eileen, are you sure it's not in the box? Did you shake your box? Is it literally underneath your foot? Like,
there's one puzzle company that's amazing. What they do is on the back of the puzzle, they're numbered each piece. So if you are missing, you call them up. I need 364 through whatever, and for a nominal fee.
Now, is that random piece numbered at the back, or is it in order that you can cheat?
No. It's direct reference to the piece.
Yeah. Okay. So it doesn't. It's not in any order specifically on the back to cheat to build your puzzle.
Well, technically it is.
Would it? I
guess. Oh, okay. You mean if it's linear? I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea about that.
Be interesting.
built one like that. I only saw on Amazon one or two puzzles where they're showing that as a feature. Oh, and if you're missing anything,
That's smart though.
Oh, I think it's brilliant.
Because if you did, okay, so you got your sheet, the machine comes down, cleaves it, you got your pieces cut, right? Because that's all it is. It just comes down and cuts it, right?
Yeah.
She says I crawled on the floor looking. I hope you did.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's like that when I was building the one little mega car, remember? And it flipped off on me, and I found it halfway across the room.
Yep.
The little it was the truck. Oh, that's what I was building. The damn truck. Oh man.
Oh, the ice truck that can entire.
It was that little piece. Remember the little black piece? I think. I was on a black carpet to boot. That would have been hard to find if I didn't just spot it randomly.
Well, it's like, so my wife was building one of the year sets, year of the whatever animal. She had a 1x2 that wasn't there. I said, it hit the floor. She goes, no. I go, yeah, you dropped pieces. I heard it.
Oh, she didn't hear it.
Well, she did, but she figures it was only, I'm convinced we found one piece, but not the key piece that's missing.
Gotcha.
So I studied her build. So she didn't bury it in the build. So what I did was the piece she was missing is not externally visible. So I gave her a black piece to substitute for the brown.
Good enough. Yeah.
And for now, it's good enough. If she trips over, great. If not, then we go to storage and pick up brown out, because I don't have brown in the house now. I thought I kept a little bit of everything, but apparently I was pretty foolish putting pretty much everything other than black, white, and gray in storage. Just because I don't mock build, so I don't need all these things around, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a really good game.
What game are you watching? Oh, you mean the game you're playing? Sorry.
Now I'm playing Marvel Spider-Man.
Marvel Spider-Man. Okay. Ooh, this is nice.
Trying to get a platinum on it.
What do you mean platinum?
Get all achievements on it.
Oh, okay.
Trophies.
Yeah. I used to be all about that. On the Xbox, I would try and get all the gamer points. And then I realized for some of it, it's like, oh, this is just a way to get me to play it over and over and over. It's like, okay, I'm kind of done with it. Because I would spend endless hours getting some weird achievements that really meant nothing to the gameplay, but would keep me playing their game forever. It's like, depends on the game. Early on, there wasn't many points per game, and then later, some manufacturers would just put the most ridiculous achievements on there. Dan, is there a Lego store in Kitchener? Well,
no, unfortunately not. Because I think the St. Jacobs Market Lego store, I'm not sure if that's still there. It could be, but I don't know with COVID if everything's screwed up. Let me see. Lego St. Jacobs.
But it's not a Lego store.
No, it's a St. It's like an outlet /. Let's see here. Edit as of early 22. What does it say here? It's called it's a building zone, so it's like people can come to it. Toy building zone. So let me see what it says. Permanently closed. Yep, we're out of luck.
Yeah, that sucks. It was cool because you could set up parties and everything there.
Oh, wait a minute. What does it say here? Did you know? Oh, no, it's gone. Yeah. So it says, as of early 2022, Lego store at the market is officially closed. Permanently closed.
That's a shame. Because that was actually a cool attraction there.
Yeah, because everybody it was just across the street from the market, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a lot of bad luck with they had the fire that took down the cabin, like the wood building that was there.
No.
Yeah, the big one, right? The main building.
Really?
There is a fire there. Yeah.
Oh,
So now it's
man.
just it's like a tent kind of building. Those like
Oh.
bubbly ones, which kind of sucks. But they still have. At least they have the antique market next door, stuff like that. So I guess the closest Lego store would probably be what, Mississauga. Let me see what. I don't even know if there's one there. Where are the Lego stores in Toronto?
Sherway,
Troy has it.
Fairview.
Yeah, they're all in
Yorkdale.
Toronto. Yeah,
Yeah.
so A would be Sherway, then what's B? What's this one?
Vaughan
Yorkdale
Mills.
and Fairview Mall.
I mean, technically, the fourth one is Vaughan Mills, but
Fairview Mall's North York, right? The intersection of 401 and North.
Yes. Yeah. Sherway's Etobicoke.
So the only place really to buy Lego would be, Mastermind Toys on Fairway Road, where the Toys R Us is, that area. Walmart and I guess it's online too, right? So
I think for her,
Oh,
it's
maybe.
Amazon, Walmart, and
Yeah.
Toys R Us are just going to be her go-to.
the only ones. Yeah, Toys R Us. I wonder what's going on with them these days. I haven't checked them for a while. Have you been doing your price reviews lately? After the Tesla, that was does that bug you that it went down even further than last year when we got it? At
no,
260 or
no.
We knew, right?
Considering when we bought into it, that's still pretty cool what we did when we did it.
Yeah.
And the fact that it went up even before we got it, like,
Yeah.
that's cool. But no, it's not at all. And the fact that I was able to grab some more now, it's like sweet.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're gonna start because I swear they don't hold these like, why would they be holding them in the warehouse? But they are coming fast, so they must have a bunch of these sitting on the shelf.
You got to
in the
remember
warehouse.
one thing about Amazon.
Yeah.
It's so many warehousing facilities.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Dude, they've got, it's not even the biggest one, but it's a big one. And it's between my two buildings. Like,
the one in Brampton, right?
No, Mississauga.
Which one?
So my two buildings are about 1.2 to 1.5 kilometers apart. And then what did they do? They went and put the biggest one between us with the biggest sign, right? It's like, you dirty bugger.
Just to be in there, right?
And they know. And because it's the same, it was Orlando Corporation that gave them the land just like us, right? So they know full well who has what out there.
Mm-hmm.
And because Orlando Corporation has most of the land. But hey, good on them. It was a good piece of land.
I'm randomly going back through Amazon years and seeing what I bought over the years, just running through the thing.
Hey, Dirt Shazam, welcome to the channel.
Hey, Lucky Lego, who's that? Hi, I'm new. Lucky Lego.
Hey, Shazam, and I didn't even. Let's try this again. I didn't even promote this stream. I only put it in my 6 regulars. I didn't post it to the other groups. Oh, did you drop out or
disconnect by accident there? My bad.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe I accidentally poofed you there. I was moving some stuff around. But yeah, I mean, literally, because you were asking me questions earlier, so I was making my thumbnail, and then here's the thing: if I want to stream to Facebook and use the thumbnails and everything, from the time I hit click, right, I click on my little submit thing, it's got to be a 15-minute window if I want the thumbnail. If I don't want the thumbnail, it doesn't matter. I just click go and I'm off to the races. Mm-hmm. But that means I got to set it 15 minutes into the future. I could start it right away, but I got to set it for the future. Mm-hmm. So it's like, whatever it was, what was it? 9 o'clock was kind of when I was hitting click, and it's like, okay, I'll set it for 9:20. And then it's like, okay, well, I wanted to grab the shirt, and get a drink, this and that. And it's like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to go post it to the other places. Where I'm streaming to is where it went. Well, hey, nice to have you regardless, Lucky.
Where are you out of, Lucky? Where are you situated? U.S.,
Yeah,
Canada?
and what do you build?
He'll probably like looking through your archives at all your other streams.
Oh God, yeah, Lego, Mega, you name the 40 companies of bricks I built. So 1,000 videos maybe. I'm not streaming any music, am I? I know I was
Nope.
earlier.
No.
Good. I'm just waiting to see if I get dinged for that on something other than YouTube. Because when I use the StreamYard's free music, I got dinged.
Really?
Well, yeah, I don't like to run it.
But Lucky likes to do a lot of Star Wars mainly. You missed the big Star Wars run for a while there.
Yeah, trust me. There's plenty more Star Wars. I mean, right overhead. Hey, Lucky, I'll show you something here. Let's have some fun. So, he's new to the channel, so this will be shocking. It's overhead, and the camera coming down at me too.
Yeah,
and there's a bunch of UCS that I still got to build up there. R2D2, the snow speeder, A-wing, land speeder. Can't remember what that one is.
Lucky says that he's
there's another dozen up there.
Lucky says he's been doing a lot of the speed champs. Well, I think a lot of people are into the speed champs lately.
I tell you, when they went from 6 to 8, everything just got so much better.
Lucky just was like, oh, wow.
Sure, yeah. There you go. No racist garbage, none of that stuff. But
no.
Adult language,
The thing is, what's funny is that he doesn't even know what you've built in the past.
Oh,
he doesn't know what you
he's
have.
Start clicking, and then it's like, oh my God, there's 1,000 videos back there.
Yeah. And then wait till he sees all the other stuff available out there with the Mega and so on.
Yeah.
Oh man, too funny. I love it when people are like flabbergasted by the amount of choice you have of stuff.
And that's what it, and that's the best description of my channel, choice. Yeah. I started a Lego purist, and it was like just getting exposed to one thing out of Mega that was good as opposed to the bad ones that I had already seen.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh,
no, it's good.
They're not crappy anymore.
Exactly.
And then once I exhausted Mega, it's like, what else is there?
Well, here's a question for Lego stuff. What major advancements have they had over the last couple of years that you saw quality either increase or set qualities, or is it themes? Like, what was it that has made the jumps to make Lego better for you guys that love Lego? Like, obviously with Mega, the quality of the brick
Lego was always constantly improving, right?
Yeah.
I know people don't like the fact, all the parts got smaller. Well, all the parts getting smaller made for better, more detailed builds.
Yeah, exactly.
Better builds, even better techniques, better manuals, interesting themes that brought new people in. So as much as I might crap on Lego, sometimes like Lego's done virtually everything right.
Well, they've got the formula down to keep everybody intrigued, right?
Yeah.
Everything from the trains to the
when you have things so good that even your detractors, the people who piss on you every day, still buy your product,
then you're still good. Yeah,
you're good.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Lego's bad. Lego's expensive. I'm going to dump them. BS, because every one of us I know who says that.
Lucky says that he's seen the techniques in the sets getting better, like the Inquisitor's side and the Andor set. Star Wars is getting better. Well, yeah, the choices, the themes are better, right?
Yeah. And on some of that stuff, just the incentive to do better, just because they see the dollar signs, it's like, yeah. It's definitely easy to improve when things are good, as opposed to things are bad and you're forced to improve.
Yeah.
And
Well,
that's and innovation's great when you're forced to innovate. But when you're in a cherry spot and everything's going good for you, you're not going bankrupt like the early years.
My
Then
uncle didn't.
what
What's
was that
that?
about your uncle?
Bionicle didn't save him.
Oh, Bionicle.
Oh no, Bionicle. I'm sorry. I'm never going to love Bionicle like Brian, but I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
are they
It's interesting. It's interesting, and I love the parts. I love the parts.
Yeah.
And I'll never give up I've got a lot of them in bulk. I'll never give them up. They're interesting, unique parts, but we're also never going to see most of those again. Just because those molds don't exist anymore. So
Why not? How come?
there was a whole thing that they wrote about where the term they called that particular system was largely mothballed, which is because people were asking them, well, how come the gift with purchase wasn't done in actual Bionicle? The parts
they don't make
exist.
it anymore.
They don't have them. They don't have them in storage. They don't have molds to even go back to for a lot of those parts. It's done, and that killed like 120 to 150 different elements, not including the unique headpieces.
Yeah. Because you got the outer shells and stuff for those Bionicle figs, right?
So Jordan is saying the summit's rounding out nicely. Yeah, I know. You know how well I know it's going? Because I just finally turned off the Google notifications for what he's been doing. And his chat.
Oh, is Jordan running? Is he running the summit this year?
Yeah, he's basically going to be the face of it.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm streaming it. I'll be on there on and off. He's the master of ceremonies. He's got a hit list of questions, and he's largely going to be involved in the selection process. And
Nice.
Yeah, he's basically driving the ship.
It's all Lego stuff for the summit?
Well, BrickLink is about the stores.
The stores, yeah.
He's a store. It's, we got our 3,600 plus members of that Facebook group. And
Holy cow.
Well, it's the best of my groups, right? And the
which one is this? Lego Canada one?
Yeah, Lego BrickLink. It was a BrickLink Lego Stores of Canada.
Oh,
and I actually added Brick Owl to the name, and I've got to kind of clean it up a little better. But I can only make one change to a name a month, so I'm not going to tweak it again.
Yeah.
Facebook has some weird rules. I mean, they're not that weird, but
I wonder why they would do that.
There's actually, you know what's funny? Once the group hits like 5,000 members, Facebook limits what I can do to the group. Actually, because at that point it's almost a culture in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that I won't have control, but they actually limit how much further tweaking I can do to the group.
Mm-hmm.
For example, making it private or not private. I can make it go back and forth right now, and I think 5,000 members, that stops. Like when I cross that threshold, whatever it's at is where it stays. Yeah, Facebook is definitely a unique beast, but they got to be careful too, because Facebook in many ways is dying.
Because right now, what is Facebook? It's just a lot of groups, and because it's funny, it does feel like a lot like the news groups we used to have back in the day with the, what I mean, like those little. Oh, it wasn't news groups; it was something else we call them. The Yahoo groups and whatnot, right?
Okay, so you had Yahoo and
discussion groups, right?
Yeah, and even before that stuff, like I used to be on FidoNet back in the early days. So you had IRC, the original IRC.
The original, yeah.
And FidoNet, which was basically discussion groups. And that was the coolest system because that was just the interconnection of the BBSs where you would like my BBS, I would connect to other BBSs at a certain time of night. So a couple times a day so that the messages could propagate across the country. And if you had enough overlapping regions, you paid no long distance charges for it.
Okay.
Yeah. And so the idea being is like, I can connect with someone on the edge of Mississauga in Niagara region, over to wherever, Kitchener to the next province, whatever. and we could get messages all the way across the province, costing us next to nothing.
Nice.
And that was great in the BBS days because remember, it was all telephone lines for us.
That's right. Yeah.
Lucky's asking, so out of everything I've built, which one's my favorite? Well, it's kind of tough.
So far? Ooh.
Oh, the red Ferrari so far. The red Ferrari. And
Is that the one is that the one right there? The old one?
Not the newest one, but the older one. Not older one. It's still like last year's model. It's still an 8 wide, but it's nice. But that Lamborghini I build next is probably going to be hard for anything to beat because I do just love the Lamborghinis.
The white one?
Yeah,
that'll be a nice one.
Yeah, when I get to do this one.
Is that next on the list? What's the?
It's the next number, 908.
Nice.
And that was a big reason I committed to Speed Champs. When I saw that, it's like, and there's not much in the way of stickers.
Like, look at the ass on that car. Turn it around to the back. Look at that thing. Oh
yeah. No, everything about
now that picture is Lego in real life.
Let's see.
Second
this
one?
one's Lego. That's real car.
Real car. Okay. I was like, that's too smooth for Lego.
That's Lego.
Yeah. That's
but
a
still,
nice
like, they got angles really well done there. So I don't know if I can put this back in without messing up.
Lucky's asking you if you've built any of the UCS Falcon sets, the Millennium Falcon.
Both.
Have you done both?
Oh,
you built it?
And I did the most recent one from, what was it, 4 years ago, 6 years ago. I did that online. And I even tore it apart online too.
Mm-hmm. Mama Lego is in on the discussion groups back in the day. BBW International, still friends with the people. Sweet.
Oh wow,
that I'm impressed. I'm like, good. That's so cool.
Well, I had to install my own modem in my computer. 2400 baud at the time, the first one.
Oh,
yeah, that's the thing. And
it was so slow. That damn modem was so slow.
But it's like I got so hooked so fast. I turned around and I got the 14.4 USRs.
Yeah.
14,400 days.
Dude, did you have the desktop one that was like a box laying on its side with the monitor on top, the big ass CRT monitor? Did you have that as your computer where you could lift it up? It was like opening a car hood.
So,
or did you have this tower that was straight up and down? Which computer was your first?
You mean the desktop case?
Yeah. Like there was the one that was flat.
All the cases I ever had from the 386 upward desktop.
Okay, so you never had the lower one where you could.
No, I never had this.
That
one, Windows PC computer from the 386.
I wish I had kept that old stuff. I remember still opening it up. You push the buttons on the side, and you open it up like your car hood, and it's just like then you got everything right there, flat. Everything was awesome.
Yeah.
And then your TV was on top of it, so it was making it a little bit nicer for space on your. Oh, I guess no, it was the tower one. When people started putting it underneath their desk, they were asking for help.
Oh, for some people, it's like, oh, your feet are warmer. Hey, the old modems, the first cable modems, the DSL modems, gigantic heat sink. So you put it under your desk and you put your feet on it, and like it had that ribbed texture. So it's like it was so awesome for your feet.
Oh man, computers have come a long way. I still can't believe that the computing power in your iWatch there, like is that's like seriously enough to run a space shuttle back in the 60s.
Yeah. Literally more power than the space shuttle.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You can only imagine where it's going to go in the next couple decades if innovation kicks in, because right now it's so stagnant in some areas. It's
where there's little competition, there's little movement.
No growth, right? Yeah. What is going on here? Let's see here. It was funny. In one of my old school Facebook groups from my high school, their 90s videos popped up when we were in when I went from 91 to 96.
Hang on a sec, Dan. Greg, yes. I'm gonna bump you off for a bit, okay?
Is he
well if he's not participating, it's a black screen. It's a big black hole on my video. So it's like
I can see your build now a little bit.
Because that's the thing. I'm moving all my stuff out of the way, but
yeah, it's always fun to see the old technology kicking around still for some stuff.
yeah, no, I get nostalgic for a lot of the old ways.
Well, the thing is, we appreciated that stuff more as you got to learn it and you got to evolve with it. Nowadays, a kid gets an iPhone in his hand, they're like, "Woo, it does everything I want," and then they don't know anything about it, right? Like unless they
Yeah.
are interested in it. That's kind of like the crappy part. And there's no fixed culture of the throwaway culture is kind of shitty too, right?
And I'll tell you how bad it is because it's like, I fall into that now because it's like my wife was saying, "Hey, do we need this? Do we need that?" And I look at it and go, "You know what? Pitch it." And oh, hey, Eileen.
Hello.
How
Hey,
you doing?
Eileen.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I figured I'd come talk to you guys and you talking my language. My first computer was a 286 with 4
Yes.
gigs.
No, you had a 286. Oh my
Yeah.
God. So you probably had like 640K RAM, not even a full megabyte.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
I
think
know
our
you could
computer-
have up to 2 megs on that, but you probably only had less than a megabyte of RAM on that old beast.
Well, I whenever I was working and I asked the guys at work, do I get 2 meg or 4 megs? The guys are saying 2 meg. You'll never you'll never use 4 meg.
I'm not even sure if you could have used 4 on that, but maybe I'm
It
wrong.
depends on the
but-
motherboard, right? The
Yeah.
motherboard, if you took it or not, or if the program or if the
Well,
processor.
the problem
can
with the
handle it, right?
286 was its ability to address RAM. Period.
Yeah,
Was limited.
yeah.
But even
I
Bill
remember
Gates
that.
said, there was an old thing he had said, like, no one's ever going to need more than 640K bytes. Right? And this is what he said, which is why your first megabyte of RAM, even if you had a meg, you really only had access to the first 640K. And then you had to use memory tools, high mem sys and other stuff. You edit your auto exec bat file. Sorry if this bores some people, they may not know this stuff, but you had to do all this magic with a text file to access that extra 340-ish K, just so you can have like your mouse driver.
Yeah.
Like your mouse, and like I would go out and mouse.com or mouse.exe, I would find one that had the most compressed mouse driver, just so I could have a little bit more RAM, so I could run something else. Like, but those were the greatest days. I love that time. It was so much fun.
Look at Lucky Lego. He says me when 1 gigabyte of RAM hardly runs anything nowadays. 1 gigabyte.
I know.
Can you imagine? Jeez. 1 gigabyte. Like, we wish back then. And it was so expensive, wasn't it, to get a stick of memory back then?
Oh yeah.
Was it minimum $100 minimum for a stick of?
Well, I mean, even now that I think back, the 386, the first 386 I had was still $800 to $1,000.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's been like that's been kind of your level to buy into a computer at the time, and that wasn't bleeding edge anything. That 386 had 2 megs RAM, had 127, and it's burned in my memory forever. 127 megabyte hard drive.
Yep.
I had two floppy disk drives, one of each size.
Yeah, of course.
So it's like, we're spoiled now with what we've got. That's for sure.
It's funny. The last computer I had that had all those drives on it was a Dell. What was in it though? I can't remember. I still have it. It's in the garage. I got to get it out of storage bins, but I still have that computer available to be able to put floppies because I transferred the old 5.5 inch, the little one, the diskettes, and then the memory card reader as well. Because you can't get, like, I guess some computers don't even have that ability to put those things in now. It's all USB connections, right?
Well, no, you can get USB floppy drives.
Yeah. I've seen that now.
You still tend to have IDE connections for most stuff. I'm still seeing motherboards that have some connections. Now, having a case that will accommodate it, a lot of them won't. But yeah, you can still find step down adapters for anything, or step up adapters.
Okay, yeah. It'd be fun to see what's still. I literally just pulled out a whole bunch of floppy disks out of an old box, and I'm like, oh man, the games we used to play off of diskettes, or you'd have disc 1 of disc 5, right?
Yep.
To play any game, you're just like, oh, put the new one in. Oh man, too funny. I still remember my first friend in elementary school had the Commodore 64. and we'd play those diskette games. And it was so just black and white, basic dot matrix stuff, nothing special, but it was good enough to have fun with.
Oh yeah, and we did. I mean,
Lucky says, I've never seen a floppy disk in real life.
really,
Dude,
I had
amazing.
the 5 1/4 and the 3 1/2s.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got 3 1/2s at 720.
I got a 10-inch one.
You got
No way.
Yeah, wow. Oh, that's so
Because
nice. Keep that. That's an
10
no,
heirloom.
no, I don't have it now, but I used to work at a recycling computers, and then we would send them off to like Northern, Ontario and all that stuff where they couldn't get them. And the
Wow.
stuff that would come in, and there was 10-inch discs.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
But
that's the big format. Yeah, the big ones. Yeah, that'd be funny. I guarantee you, if you found one of those today, it would be like an RP museum piece, right?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah,
What's
well,
sad is I've seen people take those old drives, and what they're doing is they have basically ruined them, because what they're doing is they're making techno music with them.
Oh
By
yeah,
powering them on and off and forcing the heads to read right, they make sound, right?
really?
And you get a bunch of them. You can actually make music with it. They're not using it to read discs. It's like, why are you doing this to this old tech? I mean,
but see, my dad used to work for IBM way back when.
Imagine that.
And he used to be in a room that was really cold, and the computers went from the floor to the ceiling and did reel to reel.
Yeah.
And my mother and him met during the war. He was the programmer, and my mother was a key punch operator.
Oh, wow.
That's how far back computers have been in my life.
Nice.
So
my dad used to have reel to reel for music, and so he would have like 24 hours of tape, on a huge ass wheel, and he would do his own splicing, right?
I mean, okay, question. Who knows what a slide rule is?
The what?
A slide rule.
Slide ruler? Yeah, I remember those.
Slide rule. Oh, I'm trying to think if I actually ever used one. I don't think I ever actually used
Yeah, we never had a use for them, but we've seen
Yeah,
them.
I don't think I had to use one.
Now, question, Eileen, did you actually use them to do the multiplication and conversion and all that on it?
Yeah.
Did it have all the units? Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, you had to use it in high school.
Oh, really? It was one of the things you got. Well, I still remember that we had basically a little calculator that we were allowed to, if we were even allowed to use it in high school days, right?
For me, I wasn't allowed to use a calculator for tests or anything until at least grade 6, and even then, I still had to show all my work.
Yeah, of course. That's how they graded you, showing your work, right?
Yeah.
I still remember the best or the fun part as a kid using those calculators were the solar powered little cell. You'd cover it, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off. Just have what light was good, what barely enough light was good, or the almighty trying to write words with your letters, with your numbers. I mean,
yeah,
just dumb stuff as kids.
Trying to figure out all the combinations that'll give you something that looks like a word.
Boobs.
Boobs.
Yeah.
Loose.
I went back to school before adult school I was 32, and I had taken an accounting class so that I could get into college. And the teacher made me use a calculator. I said, I don't want to use it. I can do my head. He said, no, I want you using a calculator.
Yeah.
Isn't it better that I can use my head?
I remember not remembering all the formulas, sine, cosine, and all the formulas.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be sitting there and burying tiny little notes into the battery hatch of the calculator and everything. I mean, math was never my biggest thing, so yeah, it's like whatever I could do to get by. But I always tell people my grade 1 math is awesome. Everything beyond that. But I also don't feel I need anything beyond that because I've done great without it. So
Oh, I hate taking French. I hate taking French.
Oh, well, I took it from grade 4 to grade 9 until I failed it in grade 9. And then both the French teacher, me, and the principal all agreed I should never take that class again. But you need it as a high school prerequisite, right? You needed 32 credits to get your diploma in Ontario. So I had to sign an agreement, and then I had to take another course. But here's the best part of that deal. They screwed me not once, not twice, but 3 times. I had to take 3 courses over 3 years, right? Because the first one didn't take. Like I got the credit. Oh, that one didn't qualify. I did it next year. I took it, and like they kept moving the carrot. They were screwing with me pretty good.
Oh, are you talking about the requisites? Every year it changed.
Well, it didn't change. They screwed with me. They knew what I needed to do, and they took a lot of stuff I didn't need to do. I think this was their way of punishing me for being such a bad apple at the time. But in the end, I graduated with honors in the end. But it's like, yeah, they taught me some good lessons there.
I got asked never to take typing again or gym. They kind of, okay, that's enough, Eileen. You don't have to do this anymore.
Wow.
So.
But think back. If you were to redo your essential life skills that should be taught in high school, what would you guys recommend as top notch, like top 3 essential skills?
For today, or you mean just going back?
In general, dude. In general, because every person should have basic skills when they go to the real world.
Right? The 3 R's: English, all that stuff. People can't do stuff.
Like learning how to write.
They can't write. They can't do basic math. It's horrible.
It's terrible. Okay, let's go to the next level then. What are the things that to live in life, like to live in society? What 3 things do you need to function properly in? Lucky says, "Don't say algebra." Don't worry, man. No, I did science and still don't need algebra.
No, but it's like I told you a story how I embarrassed a coworker and I was forced to apologize, and because they couldn't do basic math.
Oh my gosh!
And because of my bad attitude, it's like I basically apologized for making them feel bad, but not because they're too stupid to do the math. And it's like, trust me, the company will never make me do that again publicly. They learned their lesson. I learned mine. I got written up. And
what was the math problem that had to be solved that couldn't be solved? Like
he couldn't figure out how to do the math for what was basically 3 times 15 is 45 for the number of product that's on a skid. He had to count the product on skids. And it's like the pattern didn't change. Count the top row times 3. You know how much is on the skid.
Basic multiplication.
And he's trying to do it with a calculator, and he has to recount it slowly. He's over and over and over. Dude, they're all the same. Look at the top row.
Yeah, but
that's a point. You're slowing me down. I'll do it myself, and I end up doing everything myself. And then I shamed him. And here's the worst part: when I did the apology that I was forced to do, which basically shamed him. And then I got called on the carpet again privately. Then what happened the rest of the time? The people were leaving math notes on his machines because they, to make him feel worse. And then eventually the company because of, and that's a whole thing too that kind of I'm still dealing with. It's like harassment / whatever. But I'm sorry, man. I mean, all of my people were supposed to have, a diploma to do our jobs, basic math, English, whatever. Come on.
Yeah, but they don't fail them anymore.
No, and this is
they don't fail them. They just keep pushing and pushing them.
Let's hug everyone, huggy, kissy, treat them good, give them a back rub.
And everybody gets a star, and
give everyone a star, participation award. No. No, this is not the way we should be running society. I'm sorry.
And you know what they need to bring back? Home ec.
Oh, yeah. Because no one has those skills. Nobody has those skills. You're absolutely right.
They don't have the skill. They need financial, I think, taught to them.
Yeah.
Too. Right?
I mean, to get out of high school, Actually, even to get out of secondary, I had to know how to do a budget, how to plan meals, and do all this stuff. These kids don't know this stuff.
It's fast food and fast whatever, but it's, don't know how to sew a button on.
Yeah. Oh, I'll tell you though, I was not that. When I had to make my apron, and my teacher goes afterwards, all my stitching come apart. It was horrible. I got the bare.
So there you go.
minimum
So there you go. Another basic, life hack that you should know how to do. If you need to sew a button back on, done. Like, you don't just
button. Yeah, but like I said, that project.
You don't have to. You don't have to
That
make
was a
your own
big part of my
clothes.
grade, and I messed that up. It's like,
No,
I still
but
remember a wood shop in home ec in elementary, and those were fun. That was when you got to do your own thing and create and have fun, right?
when I was in wood shop, guys kept bringing stuff that would explode. They throw it in the furnace, right?
Oh man,
All the time. It was horrible.
Well, I remember one time it was in French week, so it was all French cooking, right? Basic. We all walked out of there drunk because I think when we were cooking, it ended up being like 3 bottles of wine into this food. And we ate the food after we ate. We the next class, we were all drunk out of our minds.
No.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was no angel back then.
but hey, I'll tell you right now. Lucky's talking about his dad taught him finance a little bit, budgeting. There's still people who are running around who don't know basic math, multiplication, and all that. Like you said with that guy, and I'm flabbergasted that that's still like some people just don't get the even money, like how to break down quarters into basic. How to get change back, because you still see people struggling, like tellers. They're like, "Oh, you gave me something, so you didn't get change back." I was like, yeah, because I don't want chump change in my pocket. I'll give you my change, and you give me a solid bill or a coin.
Yeah. I'll give you a nickel. Give me back
you gave me too much.
And they're scratching their head like, how's that math work? And you can see the birds flying around.
But isn't it funny that now without pennies that it's even easier to do that math? So it's like, oh, I'll give you 15 cents. Just give me $1 back instead of 85 cents change. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, it says Lucky says because of his dad, he can change his oil and put air in a tire. Good. That's the way to do it.
No.
And I learned that when I was a teenager hanging around with the boys, with how to, do all the car stuff.
As everybody should. Because outside of North America, you need to take like literally a mechanics course to learn to get your license. And people here who don't even know how to check, basic stuff in their car. It's like, where's your windshield fluid? Where's your water bottle? Where's your rad bottle? Like all that kind of stuff. I know cars are different.
I haven't done car stuff with my daughter. Not really.
Not yet.
But my daughter built her computer 6-7 years ago.
Awesome.
Case,
that's one thing.
Motherboard, CPU, OS installation, driver installation. That was the computer we built because of how good she did up to grade 6. And
now, question: does she know binary math, binary language, or any of that computer language stuff?
She has only the faintest idea.
Basic stuff. Okay.
Zeros and ones and the relevance of that.
Yeah.
It's not what they need to know now.
Not applicable now. Yeah. There's no point at all. Unless you're in the field doing work
she
with
did some basic level programming in 1 or 2 languages, but
I still find that
she helped me build her gigantic IKEA bed. That big box frame one with all the drawers.
That's good.
Screwdrivers,
that's basic, yeah.
But I'll tell you, all these families, no fathers or no dual parents, right? They're not doing anything with their kids that way. The TV, all the internet tools they got.
Yeah.
But
it's all a crutch.
They're not learning all this. Yeah, it's all a crutch. They're not learning any real skills.
See, the cool thing about some social media is that there are guys out there showing how they do their stuff. That's a good thing. But the thing is, it still doesn't really get people involved in it, like hands-on kind of thing, right?
No.
That's where school should be really catching them like that, right?
Like even libraries. The kids don't use libraries like we used to.
No. It's like a museum now, of course.
Yeah.
I actually took my kids to the library a while back and we got like 8 books or whatever. And it's just like it's dead. Every single time we go, it's dead. It's like, okay, well, kind of keep bringing you back here because you're going to learn how to get books. Get you
Don't
on
take
it.
her ties on Facebook.
Don't take our pennies.
Don't take our pennies.
It's funny. It's still legal tender here. Still have like jars and jars full of them, but don't need them.
I like the fact Ty
It's
always
not
comes in
legal
through
tender.
Facebook.
What's that, Eileen?
It's not legal tender anymore.
No, you can't take it to the bank and get your money back for it? Really?
Nope.
They're done?
They're
There's
done.
no way. Really? I wonder.
Check it out.
I still get
Yeah.
pennies. I still get pennies
From where? From
Where?
stores?
from stores.
Yeah?
They're still in circulation. There's gonna be pennies in circulation for 20 years.
I took a whole slew of them too, but
I hate them. I'm not a fan of
Yeah.
coins.
So Eileen, it is still legal tender. The
You're
penny.
not with that boy again, are you?
Be- because I was at a hairdresser and this woman tried to take all these coins in. The banks would charge him with a 20-foot pole. He had something like $2,000 worth of coins. And
Was
they
it
wouldn't
actually
touch it.
was it actually rolled up, ready to go, or was it loose?
Yeah, and the banks, she took it to 3 different banks and they wouldn't take it.
Bullshit.
Well, they don't
have
want to take it because there's a time. There's a
There's money involved. Yeah.
there's a cost to the
Yeah.
time in doing it, right? So
That's crazy.
I like the Metro stores. Most of the Metro stores have the big coin thing. You put it in, you get a
Yeah.
thing, and you can use it in the store. I think that's the best use right there.
I had coin collections. So,
Oh, you still got some old mint stuff, or
yeah. And that,
Yeah.
I even have a $10 bill that I think is 1930 something that was in my dad's wallet.
Nice. That's still a big thing. The collectors, they still go for those rare coins and rare bills out there. Should look into it because
the
you can
last
look
show I
online.
went out to your way, Dan. I
Yeah.
picked
Hi,
up
Brian.
the money from my birth year, my daughter's birth year, and I think my wife's birth year. Like mint runs.
Nice. The one coin I know that's coming out soon, I'm not sure when they're going to release it, if they've done it yet, is the black toonie.
Yeah,
Right?
but you can only buy it from the mint.
Yeah. So do you know when it's coming out?
I read it and I can't think of when it is.
So these are never going to be part of circulation then?
It
No.
can be, but it's going to be a collector's coin, right? It's still legal tender, but who's going to do that, right?
If you buy a roll, it was $79.95
Oh, it's
per
already
roll.
It's already out. Here we go. So let me see what it says. December 7th, they issued it. Can you buy it? Is it out?
They say you can go to the mint and get it, but I don't live in Ottawa.
So they're gonna do 5 million coins. Is that what
Ryan's
it is here?
playing the game again. He's hooked. We're not going to see him online anymore.
No, he's which game is he hooked on the 007 or the GoldenEye? I mean?
Yeah. GoldenEye's got
He's going hard on Mario
No,
Kart
no.
GoldenEye again tonight.
Love my Mario Kart. Put the kids to bed and I sit up all night playing it. Back in the day.
Oh, they're actually making a coin with the queen on it.
Yeah, that's a black coin.
So a roll, $50 is worth $79.95. You can buy it now. You can get a whole roll of it.
I love
20
the queen, but not that much.
But so you can just buy one for like, I think people are selling them for like $4 or something like that. Where did I just see it? Where was the thing? Here it is. Yeah, $5, $6, $7, $8. You can get a coin used or out of the package, I guess.
nice.
So they'll come around. They'll probably be there. But it's just nice because it's the black toonie, right? There's
Yeah.
nothing else wrong. Like just it's instead of being silver, it's black. I like it. Black ring too. That's kind of cool.
My
And then they're gonna do-
girlfriend got me one of the coins out in England that they did for her Jubilee. And I still have to get that.
Ooh.
So this goes in my coin box.
I think one of my favorite coins that I had as a kid was the 25 cents that had the Mounties on it. I think it had the horse and the RCMP guy on top. I don't know if you've ever seen one of those 25 cents.
Mhm.
Old school ones before the caribou was on it.
I'm not sure if I've seen that.
Let me see if I can
And
find.
probably I'm 70, so I think I probably saw it there.
Yeah, it is. That's the one. Yeah, it's 1970s. And look at this. Like, there's like some of these coins are worth $800. 1973, 25 cents coin.
There's a
These guys-
couple of YouTubers who are coin
Look at that.
guys, and I watch them on and off. I can't remember their names, but they pop up
Wow.
in my feeds. And these guys are still finding stuff in circulation that will boggle your mind.
Yep. Yeah.
They're still
like,
finding stuff with silver in it.
oh yeah, because
Still.
the 10 cents before a certain time was, had it in there, right? Same with the American ones. Because what was it? It was one that was magnetic. As soon as those coins went magnetic, is because it was an alloy and not silver anymore.
Yeah.
So they cut back. But yeah, those guys know the deals for sure.
It's neat though, because he's sitting there and he's constantly getting boxes of, the $1 or whatever coins he was going after. And he goes, look at this, it's rolled up, and you can even feel like this roll's got it. He peels and you can see it halfway down. There's the silver dollar. Like, oh my God.
Bigger and thicker, maybe.
Yeah, there was something he could feel through the paper, and he was right every time. It's like,
they know the tricks. They'll figure it out.
Yep.
but there's it's okay. So he technically is profiting from that, but there's time involved in it too.
Oh yeah,
All
still costs you money.
and doing all this, but clearly he's doing something he enjoys too. So,
And that's the point. Like I know with the coin thing, my dad and I, we would root through our laundry coins that we get and see these little coins and make a difference. And they're just like, hey, they're different. Let's pull these out. Maybe it's just for fun. But some of those other guys, it's like the Hot Wheel guys in suits at Walmart going through the drop bin. I was like, what is going on here? What's so special about these? Like a guy in a suit looking through Hot Wheels. I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And then I figured out what you explained, like what you do is like you find those treasure hunt ones, or the special ones that are unique or whatever.
Yeah. I'm just fortunate that the ones I'm after are generally the ones no one's after.
No one wants.
So
Yeah.
it's not too bad for me, except when mine actually come up as a treasure hunt, then it's like,
Yeah, then you're in competition.
But
Right.
I really don't care if I get it as a treasure hunt or not. If I get it in the next release and it's not a treasure hunt, fine. I just want the car.
And half the time they're easy to get. Like there's never anything that's super rare that won't show up at some point, right? It's funny, even with, I don't know if you find out with Lego and stuff, if there's a set that's rare that you're trying to get, somewhere, sometime, it'll always pop up in front of you, right? Even like with these new ones with the retail prices, they'll eventually come down. You just got to keep an eye open, right?
And that's it. But sometimes the value on your time is, do you want to keep tracking it, or do you just want it and be done with it?
Yep, that works too.
Which is why sometimes I do buy that day one stuff, and I'm not, because I can get any Lego set 20% off. All I gotta do is wait, and that's without a hard discount. That's just me waiting to a particular Tuesday every month.
Yeah,
but there are impulse is one thing. Not wanting to wait, or most of the stuff is not going to be scarce and never will be. So there's no real worry about that. The exception being show stuff. And I've bought a fair bit of that stuff over the years. Just because you can only get it at the show, and then you're pretty much screwed to buy.
Well, that's the thing. If you know at some point that you're not going to see something again, you got to grab it while you can, right? Regardless of, it could be a little higher, it could be a lower, but all evens out over time.
And buy it quick.
And buy it quick, yeah. Well, you guys with Lego have more ravenous fans to clear out shelves and everything, right?
Yeah. No, it can be a very short window.
And then with Mega, same thing. Like they do certain productions. I was just explaining to somebody online. They're like, "Oh, why is the distribution so shitty?" I kind of figured it out over watching everybody talk about it. They only produce what retailers ask them to produce. They don't do stock randomly to sit in their warehouse to just get rid of. So like that's why Walmart has the exclusives, Target has the exclusives, Amazon has the exclusive, and then they run out. and they're like, oh crap, we didn't make enough because everybody wants it now, and then they may or do a second run, right? We may see a that like they did with the was it the 20th anniversary figure set, which was a steal because you were getting like 20 figures plus for $50.
Yeah.
And they didn't have enough, but then they reran the run or did a second run, and now they're shelf warming because everybody got their fill or paid absorbent prices. And then Mega gets pissed off because the retailers don't want to reorder the items again. And then I think it was two of them they gave an example of that. The German tank that never got produced because no retailer bought it. They didn't order it. And then the advent calendar that the Masters of the Universe had. And nobody.
That I don't get. Honestly, I really don't get that either. When everything else in the line has sold well, is well received by the public, and that one, like, I don't get it. Especially when advent calendars are huge.
They just pulled it. So either there's two things I'm thinking. Either they didn't make enough to satisfy the sales time. They pulled it just so that nobody would be, oh, we didn't get enough of them. But I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to come out for 2023 because the figures have been leaked on eBay loose. So they made them. So I don't know. We'll see. Because Amazon UK also put that pre-order up again after the fact. So I'm wondering if it's still active. Because I bet you with Amazon killing it with the battle pack that just came out, they're going to do it again for sure. They can see that there's money to be made. These fans are ravenous. The Masters Universe, the G.I. Joe guy. I'm just saying, like, in general, the big population ones, the Lego guys are ravenous, especially when it's a good set, right? You guys say that they sell it online all the time, the good ones.
Yeah.
So, keep pumping it out. Money makers. And now with what's left with the Halo, they're going to do some special announcement on Monday, I think, the 30th. So all the Halo guys are super excited what it could be. Some people think it might be direct.
I'm literally only looking for two things: more Warthogs, and maybe whatever is a gigantic premium set. Maybe
it probably
gives the opportunity to get that elephant. Maybe I'll go for it. Probably not.
Well, the thing is, I hope they change it. I hope they make it something different, like something newer, like updated, not just a re-release of something old. Like the Falcon, the cool thing about that set that they sold out on and it went crazy was the fact that it came with all the characters that they wanted, that everybody wanted.
I hit the wrong button.
Oh, it's okay.
You look like you're in a completely different room, Eileen.
I'm in the same room. I just moved from the couch to the.
There you go.
See, she's like me. I'll put on a different shirt for every stream I'll do in a day. She'll go to a different room every time she comes on camera.
That's awesome.
I'm in the same. I'm in
the foyer today with my wine and my cigar.
Oh, hey, Dad, are we finished with the snow in Kitchen?
No, I have a sneaking suspicion that we're going to get a little bit every day for the next week or so, but not enough to worry about the dump. There's no more big dumps. We're going to have.
It took me 20 minutes yesterday to get the snow off my car.
Did it really? It was that much you had? So we had about this much in Kitchener.
I want to say there was 8 inches on my car, and half of that was ice. Like, it was packed.
Yeah, the first part was wet, and then it got the big fluffy stuff on top. But yeah, Eileen, that was a good. That was the reminder that yes, we are still in winter. So, but my experience.
My friend had a bird feeder of the back, and I took a picture and showed my girlfriend in Australia, the snow, right? Half an hour, I looked out, half an hour later, the whole thing had bent right over. I tried to bend it back up, I couldn't. So they'll have to fix it when they get back in 3 months.
Yeah, it was a good, because it then snowed again the night after that. Which was last night. And I'm just like, yeah, damn. I'm like, oh, more to clean. But today was it was kind of mild a little bit. Well, I say mild, but above zero. And it just kind of was mushy and with the salt and everything. But it snowed a little bit tonight. I don't think it's going to be much. And then during the week next week, we're going to have a couple flurries and, sprinkles in here and there. But this is nothing. Like we had maybe 2015, 2016. It snowed every 2 days for 2 months straight. And
I know.
terrible. I had to clean all that stuff because it's part of my works, details, and it just I had enough because it wasn't enough to worry about, but you had to do it regardless. So I was just like,
I was house sitting, and I had to clean the stairs every day because of the mailman.
Oh,
that's right. They gotta come up, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so when he got back from Australia, I kind of told him off. And so now if I house it over there in Waterloo, he gets the kids across the road to do it. And the guys here have got the guy next door. He gets the free internet, and then he does the shoveling for me, and I just do the stairs and the salting.
okay,
So
that's
it's
not bad.
Not bad. But yeah, but I'm going home for a few days tomorrow because it's Paige's 5th birthday, so we're having a video birthday party for her.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, it should be fine. Everything should be cleaned up. Rosa should be fine by then, and all that stuff. It'll be good.
yeah, it's coming back. I'm getting a drive home, but I'll have to take the GO train back.
Ooh.
So you're taking the train from Kitchener to go back home?
No, my son's here in Kitchener partying, and then he's gonna take me home in the morning. But when I come back on Tuesday or Wednesday, I'll either take the GO bus or the GO train, and just walk over. Just miss the encampments if I can.
Do you like the GO train?
I like the GO train. I find it really more comfortable than the GO bus because once I get to square one, I have to take 2 more buses to get home. So I think with the GO train, it'll be a little bit better. There's more room to move around.
I don't mind the buses, but
There's
I
a
don't know.
new one. There's a
I
new
can't say
one.
much about the trains. I've only been on them a few times my entire life. The GO train.
The GO train's decent for the commuter, right? Just you get packed, right? Oh, I'm getting buzzed in my ears. What's that? Is that me or you guys?
I heard it.
Yeah, it's like a ring kind of thing. Does StreamYard have an alert?
Greg. So Greg says I'm back. Yeah, I only bounced you, Greg, because you were inactive so long, and if you're gonna occupy space on my screen, I do appreciate if you talk and keep me awake. So that's why Dan and Eileen are on, because there's no problem. I can turn off my camera and you guys will keep talking.
I wonder what Nate's up to tonight. He says hi, Mama, over on the chat, on the side chat here, Eileen.
Yeah, well, Nate knows how to get on. He knows the secret word.
Oh yeah.
But we'll have Greg on again another time. No worries there. It's not personal, Greg. I don't want him thinking it is.
So what's left? Let's do a little cart talk there. What part are you on in the?
Just doing this, dude. The stickers are killing me, man. And they put them in the worst spots.
Your alignment's pretty good. You got them all straight.
Well, I do like to think I'm pretty good at it. But
yeah, that's good.
And that's now on the card.
In the Speed Champs, are they doing any overlapping brick stickers, or is it all individual? That's good.
Lego's pretty good about not overlapping elements these days. It was kind of more common 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They did it on a bunch of sets, some Technic and some other builder sets, but I can't remember the last time they did it on a modern set.
I never asked, the quality of the stickers decent? Are they like plastic, paper?
Most of the time it's papers.
Papers.
Sometimes it's on clear.
So will these things curl over time, or what's the deal?
Here's the thing. So my experience is, if you get them in good condition to start out of the box, and you apply them good, and like in my case, I don't touch them as much as possible. No finger oils. They're fine. I don't even survive even a wash.
But wait a minute. But the pieces you've touched on the car are going to have your oils on them, no?
Well, I do my best to not muck around too much on those
Yeah.
surfaces beforehand, right? I mean, yeah, I can absolutely take more time, wipe it down. But if
Nah.
I find the
Yeah.
biggest problem is if you mess with the adhesive. If you apply and reapply to get it aligned right, you're screwed.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. Because you're pulling the sticker, creasing it, all that stuff. Yeah.
Well, yeah, even if you don't crease it, just once you lift it up once, because you've exposed it to air once, just peeling it off the backing. If you put it on the plastic and lift it off again, you're killing the adhesive. So
Yeah.
I find modern day the stickers are fine, and a lot of guys will tell you you can even apply water to it and clean your pieces. And as long as you're not too aggressive, you won't do any further damage to it. Plus, there's a clear plastic film on top of them. Older stickers that didn't have the clear, they were just
That's
paper.
the worst. Yeah.
They're the worst because they soak up water or any oils. And yeah, there's nothing worse than seeing an old Lego that has an old sticker on it, and you'll take a look at it and you go, that's clearly saturated with some sort of oil, maybe from potato chips or whatever. Like
Yeah. You can tell that stain.
Yeah.
The oil stain.
That continues to spread over time.
Oh,
That's the worst. That's the worst.
It's funny because of the 80s toys that we had, like even with my Starcom and stuff, those were plastic, like good plastic stickers. And if you had done it right, they lasted forever. But if you didn't do them right, they'd curl over time. They'd dry out, adhesive and whatnot.
Oh, that was another thing. So I said if you get them good. Now, you can absolutely find stores or even transport companies or whatever. Sometimes in transit, these boxes have been near a source of heat. So the stickers curl right off the sheets. That happens.
They dry out.
Or, of course, in the box, they're curled and they come off. So as long as you're getting it in pretty pristine condition and you treat it with respect, you'll do fine and they'll last a long time. But if anything is askew, you're probably going to want to buy a second sheet and have it handy. Doesn't mean you use it necessarily, but
so you mean finding something on BrickLink kind of thing?
Yeah,
or
or even go, hey, call Lego, say, hey, don't do it too often because I'll catch on, but say, hey, I didn't get a sticker sheet. Don't abuse the service because they'll block you eventually.
Yeah, I've been noticing a lot of people going online. The Lego customer service is like exceptionally good, but if you abuse it, they'll know who you are. Yeah. I'm sure.
That's the thing. Like I do my best to not abuse in that way. You could say it's abusive having the multiple accounts and stuff.
JB's calling it a night. See ya, JB. Have a good evening.
Buddy.
I keep the YouTube.
That's like JB's worried if his stream goes well. I don't care. I'm building. It matters not. There's no ego involved.
There's nothing to worry about.
I'm streaming. I turn on the cameras. It's a rare time I build and don't turn on the camera. And like earlier, what did I do? No audio. I'll turn the mic off. If I don't want you to see me, then I'll do a top down. If I want to be here in my underwear, I'll take the top down view. I just position the camera.
That'd be hilarious. Now, when you do those,
guys don't know.
When you're gonna do those,
look at this top view right now, right?
You don't
see my arms.
He's laughing. What's funny is that when you do those mega builds, are you going to be doing like 8 hours in a row or anything big like that with just no sound, just build, like no interruptions? Like you get the big ones, the big signature sets. When you
I just do them like I do like the Mustang
parts. Do the parts?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can't do more than 2 or 3 hours. The fact that I did puzzles for 3 hours earlier, a shot was horrible.
Nate's calling you out. He's saying that you got no pants on right now. That's what...
You really want me to stand up?
Nate, it's all on you, buddy. It's your choice. I'll turn around.
I got jeans on, so not an issue. There. I got my jeans on.
Nate, you're looking at the wrong place, buddy.
Yeah. Now I can get you a Twitch hot tub stream, if you want that link.
Too late. He always like, do it.
Do it.
It's funny. Got the Grogu shit on, and then he's like, do it. I can't wait to that. We were talking about Mandalorian coming up. I can't wait to see what this is going to be like. We're actually going to get back to them two being their little clan and doing their thing. which should be awesome. And I wonder if they're gonna end up taking him to the level of he's gonna become the Mandalorian Jedi. Do you think?
I can't even guess where they're going to go. I just hope it's not too wishy-washy or too woke.
Well, Grogu chose to go with his dad, right?
Yeah.
So he's got the little armor on, and he's got the Darksaber potentially, are in his grasp. So who knows what's going to happen? Be interesting to see, because no story is out there, or is there?
I do want to see Grogu turn nasty. That's just me, though.
Do you think so? You think he'd turn nasty?
Yeah, because I don't want every story to be a good
guy. The good guy.
That's not reality, right?
Well, the Force has to be balanced. So
yes.
if you've got Luke kicking around, who's the guy on the other end for?
Well, yeah, because it's still supposed to be the good time of Luke before he's made that horrible, tragic mistake with Kylo. And
what a crap! Yeah, that story just got turned to crap.
Disney.
Yeah. But was it really Disney's fault, or was it whatever her name is, Kennedy?
All the above. All the above.
All the above.
If you had a proper gatekeeper, like if you had Filoni at that time being the gatekeeper for Star Wars,
to veto shit, yeah.
There's no way he would have allowed that.
Yeah.
And I still don't put it all at the feet of Kathleen Kennedy, because clearly, she's a business person and not a Star Wars fan.
Well, everybody ate it up. It's just the hardcore Star Wars fans were like, "What is this?" Yeah. Right? Like,
hey, even Mark Hamill,
he was wondering. Yeah,
dude,
he's like, "This is not."
He admits he took a paycheck, but he goes, "That's not Luke Skywalker." And for him to say that after the fact, like, I wish he would have stood up for his character a little more.
He's the only guy that could have done that. Because he's got the star power, right?
He's the only true advocate. He's the one who can say, "Hey, I did 3 movies. I am Luke Skywalker."
Well, what's her name for Leia? She's the one who really took the paycheck. She's like, "Yeah, for sure, I'm going to do Star Wars again. Like, let's go." But
the last 20 years of her movie and TV career were not right? Awesome.
But like you gotta restrain yourself a little bit, or what do you call it? Make a deal, make sure the story's good. Don't crap it out. Because even like the people harping on how the story went, like her doing her magic, spacewalk, that was too. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, no, they did not.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Like no, come on. Doesn't matter how good of a Jedi you are, you're not floating in space. Like you're not, right?
I mean, and part of the write-off with that was like, well, we didn't get to see these guys for 20 years. We don't know what she learned and what she was taught. Okay, but it would have been nice if you guys would have explained it a little better, huh?
But you know what, though? They said that could have been a proper send-off to her as well. Like, she died and gave a value to the story avenging her death or something like that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But really only the Star Wars, the writers can really come up with a good Filoni and
I didn't hate it as much as some people did, but
well, they did Finn wrong. That guy should have had, right? Dude,
I just watched him again.
Yeah,
on some channel they were doing an interview.
Yeah,
and I tell you, the more I listen to him, the more venomous he is towards Disney and Star Wars, and because you had a character that everyone wanted to like and wanted to support.
Yep.
And he was fed a certain line about how it was going to be. And with each consecutive movie, just watching him get wishy-washy further and further.
And then that was like, kind of like a playing dumb kind of thing. Like in the acting style. I'm like, what were they thinking? Like that guy, and they presented him as like, why did he meet up with Rey? Why were they, destined to be together? There should have been something there that, she's the daughter.
And then what really does it for me is watching Disney take him off of all the movie stuff for Asia.
Really? To cater to the crowd, eh? Wow. Oh, wow.
They would take this
the movie posters and all that?
Worldwide posters, right? You see him a certain size. Then you see Asia specific, and then you see either minimized or gone completely. Otherwise, it's the same damn poster.
Wow. So I'm sure he wasn't invited.
Don't tell me that's not an intentional.
Well, it is. It's just like them having to cater to the Middle Eastern cultures that don't want certain things in movies or the I think it's what is it? The Singapore guys out there. One of those cultures they can't stand certain things, so they will say take that out of the movie or else you can't show it.
Well, I
in this
remember when
country.
the WWE started going to one of the Arab countries. They do
Yeah.
Crown Jewel there once a year.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. So the royal family there pays for the event.
Okay.
Okay. So WWE, it's nothing but profit. They do a pay-per-view there. They bring all the stars, and the royal family says, "Oh, we want Undertaker. We want this and that. We want all these top stars." And whoever they want, they bring in because it's easy money. And then the first one, they had little to no women. And if they did have it, they were like really dressed up compared to what they usually wear. And watching them cater to that market was something else. Now, it's gotten
Because it stands out, right? Yeah.
it's gotten a little better, but still, if you look at who goes to that event and who doesn't,
Well, look at the World Cup, dude. They were all up in arms, but yet they
that's
got away with
right.
some of that stuff, right? Because
Yeah.
they were super. They were like they didn't want any rainbow flags. They didn't want any anything to do with that stuff. They didn't want the women.
But
to
it's
be
amazing when
girlfriends.
they started making those demands. It wasn't early on in the process.
No, it was right
before.
Yeah,
Let's,
and then the alcohol thing,
hold
just
them
like
hostage.
and it's just like the alcohol thing. The main sponsor of the tournament couldn't even sell their product in the stadiums. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine because it's not too bad. But like, you don't shut out the foreigners like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Control your own. But that was kind of shady too. It's like they got them like, yeah, nope, not gonna do it. But we'll see. I think the next one is now North America wide. The next one is it here?
Yeah, 3 countries:
It's all right?
Canada,
Yeah,
U.S., and
that's gonna be interesting. That
yeah.
will be
I tell you, I want to get out.
Because how is BMO Field?
I want to try and vacation away or go up north or do.
But the thing is, though, there's just not enough space to do it. It doesn't make sense.
What do you mean?
They're gonna look at the stadium sizes of everywhere else in the world, and they're gonna use BMO Field as like their little tiny. It's not tiny. I've been to it.
No problem. Hey,
but
Skydome
so
will be
small.
renovated. The renovations will be done there, and if there's enough of an audience, they could use Skydome.
You think they'd move it? You think they'd move it?
Money talks. Why not?
That could, yeah. Be interesting to see if they would do it inside, but that would be a proper, use of that facility, right?
Oh yeah,
because that's not been used.
Skydome's world class even before the renovations, and when they're done, all the
it's funny
they're doing now.
But it's funny that you still call it Skydome. I will forever call it Skydome. I will never call it anything else.
And
it's always Skydome.
GPS and it's still Skydome. I won't.
Is it really?
Well, you could get there by calling it Skydome for sure. I won't call it Rogers Center. Nope.
Yeah, I know. It's just I hate it when these corporate guys throw their names on these stadiums and.
Oh
and
no,
arenas.
because here's the thing that happened with that was they bought it for $25 million.
That's it.
That's
what
it.
It cost them?
The cost of 2 baseball players.
Wow.
And we're still paying interest on the original loans.
Wait a minute. Who built it? Was it the Ontario government?
It was private, but Ontario government kicked in lots of money and helped. Yeah.
And we're still paying for that?
200 to 400, 400, 600 million before it was all done.
Oh, jeez.
And then the interest, it's been, maybe we're finally done, but I know I've been telling people for years we're still paying interest. But yeah, and the fact that Rogers was able to buy it for the cost of 2 ball players.
What a rip. That should have been something that the government should have taken over and just made tons of money on, right? They could have used that towards funding their own projects, right? The amount of money sold, well, I can't even get into that because it just pees me off that we give away our infrastructure. They've been doing this in Europe, all over the place where, people own ports and, government land and all this kind of stuff. And then the governments, they got nothing left. They're going to get screwed. I think, what is it? Greece and other places, they don't even own their airports. They don't own their, ports, the boat ports. China's buying it all up, or Germany's buying it all up. It's funny. There's kind of an underlying joke there. It's like Germany being, what they went through. They're technically kind of owning Europe now They're the
Well,
highest.
yeah, they couldn't do it one way, so they'll
they-
do it legit now.
They did it legit, and I'm just like, well, I guess you guys got what you wanted. You're in control
Yeah.
of everything. Shit.
Hey, what is it they used to tell us? Success is the best revenge, and you know what?
Sure, absolutely, yeah. Mistakes are only what your
Because,
roadmap to success.
You know, I remember in history class, and we study them and watching their children play with the German money in the streets because they were printing money because their money wasn't worth anything, and they were playing with stacks of money in the streets.
Hyperinflation, yeah.
After how badly they got smacked down after the Second World War.
Well, even to rebuild that country, it took them, you know, everything was destroyed almost, right?
And for what they were on the hook for and everything. And
yeah, because they had to pay out too. Yeah, I forgot about that.
And so,
but now they're sending tanks to Ukraine. I'm like,
well, I love the best part was so just like anyone who sells military arms,
yeah,
you put restrictions on it. I will sell you this. You cannot arm another nation, or you cannot arm your neighbors, or whatever. So some of these countries that are being asked, hey, can we send these German tanks? Well, Germany, they've been waiting for Germany to give the okay, because the companies are owned, half or wholly by the German government. So it's like they got to okay this transaction of the loaning of these tanks that they manufactured. But now not only have they allowed it, but they're sending their own in too. That was huge. That Germany's going to do it too. It's one thing for them to okay XYZ nations can send tanks that Germany made, but now Germany says, yeah, we'll send some too. That was something, because now finally Germany is getting involved in a real way.
Give me a quick second. I just got to check on something here. I'll be right back.
Sure. Oh man, 5 more stickers still on this. Ridiculous. Build's coming out nice though. I did the stickers better on this side than I did on this side. They're level, but there's a bigger gap. It's hard to go around a slope. I wish they would make the stickers bigger. Lego undercuts them on purpose, but it's funny. Other manufacturers, they'll go too big, and Lego actually goes too small, in my opinion.
Alrighty. So is that all the pieces left for the set? All that stuff on the table there?
That's pretty much it.
Oh, and these guys have the dimpled wheels too, with that you were showing the other day.
Yeah, the wheel's bonded to the tire. Tire's bonded to the wheel. Sorry.
So it's glued, like heat bonded or glued or what?
Basically shrunk on. Because you can't peel that off. Like, I'd have to pry it off with a tool. It's on there pretty damn good. Yeah.
Well, it'd be
now, the beauty of that is it's a hard wheel. It'll be neat to see in 15, 20 years. Does it split? If it does,
it depends on the type of rubber, right? If it doesn't
all
dry
rubbers dry out though. And this is probably not rubber anyway. It's probably nylon.
Silicone or nylon.
Knowing Lego, it's silicone. Here's one thing: silicone is great for heat.
Okay.
But beyond that, it doesn't age well.
Okay. So what about the kitchen utensils that are, like that? Do you think over time will degrade?
Awesome. You can pick up hot stuff and you won't burn your hands.
But what about aging?
None of those 20 years, you're not going to use them.
They're not going to be. They'll
break down. Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting, because I wonder if it's like breaking down as you use it too, with time.
I'm sure it's slow. I'm sure it's a very slow gradual.
But wait a minute. Are using it's food grade silicone? So that means even if you ingested a part of it by accident or anything, it's not going to contaminate or hurt you. Right?
Well, it shouldn't kill
you. It's benign, right?
Yeah, it shouldn't kill you, and it shouldn't react harshly with you. But that's going to be painful passing something that doesn't digest well.
Well, it depends on what your body's doing to it as it's going through you, right?
Yeah,
it's going to try and kill it, get rid of it, encompass it.
one of the news groups or one of the Facebook groups, guy posted something showing a Lego head. He had to buy another one because his kid swallowed one.
Oh,
Yeah, and I'm reading through the thread and stuff, and someone said, "Well, why'd you buy a new head? Why didn't you just wait, 24,
till
48
it came through.
until it come through?" And he goes, "You know what? We waited a couple days and no head, right?" And then,
Oh man.
now here's the best part: the adults in the group were sitting there having a good giggle, no head for days. and at first, I'm looking at it and like, I just had to put like a thumbs up, whatever. Like, I got it, good joke. And people go, "What?" I go, "Think
Yeah.
about it, and then come back to it."
Not everybody lives in the gutter. We know.
Yeah.
We're all here having fun. Come join the
Yeah.
club. Oh no. Perpetually in the
And
gutter.
then when some people clue into it, it's like, "Oh, that's not appreciated." It's like, okay, come on.
Please, it's like a newscaster saying something dumb like that, and you catching it. And
I
you gotta.
always laugh
right?
when a newscaster
They're awesome. They
says
do that.
something that's not on a script or a prompter in front of them, and then you
Oh.
realize,
Here, there's a good one that's floating around socials. It's a news. I think it's in Australia where they call a type of grass cooch.
okay,
And so as they're talking about it, the woman's like, "Well, do you know? Could you tell us a little bit more?" And they're interviewing like 2 landscaping kids or a business or something like that. And she's like, "Well, how do you take care of your cooch?" And it just keeps going and going. It's like, "Well, how do you know that you have a good cooch?" It's just, I'll send it to you if I can find it again. But it's legit.
Oh.
The kids can't hold their laughter. They're just fighting it. But it's like serious at the same time.
So they're just trolling her, and she doesn't realize that she's
She's just being trolled in general from just having the conversation as is. The other one was where some reporter is in England, and they just the way they say things differently. She's asking these 2 guys, I don't want to ruin it. I'm going to send it to you, and then you'll get a good laugh at it because you can see the guys cannot contain themselves. They're just ripping themselves anew. And the woman's just like, "What's wrong? Why are you laughing?" They're just like, "No, nothing. Nothing at all. We don't embarrass you. That's okay." It's so funny. Just a play on words. And then there's one where a guy, he deals with roosters. So he's just a big burly guy, and he's just like, "I'm the cock master," or something like that. And he's like, "Yeah." Even today, it was yesterday. The radio guy who does the afternoon on 91.5 The Beat for our local station, he's trying to get some lady to say, "So what's a male rooster called? Like, what's a word for a male chicken?" And he's trying to get her to say it on air. And you can bypass, standards by, having that stuff set a certain way. And then I think there's another one where a lady, she's like doing construction stuff, and then she talks about having good cock. You need good cock to, seal your joints and all. But stone face, legit. And she's literally has it in her hand, showing you how to use it. You need the right material. I love people who play on the stupid words that because people are so offended by wording, and it's like, it means nothing. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Like, just relax, folks. It's just because even like, it's not like George Carlin doing the 7 dirty words. Those are legitimate, harsh words. But at the end of the day, it's just what it is. Just do whatever.
I miss George Carlin.
I know. Him, Robin Williams, like all the top guys have been kind of, missing. But that gives room for the new crop to come up, and hopefully they can, fill some big shoes.
I tell you, I would love to hear George Carlin's take on stuff in the last 5 years.
Oh, but you know what? He called all this stuff.
Yes.
Go back to his old material, back to the 90s and back to the early 2000s. He called it all out. It's all coming. The whole thing about the health stuff, he called it out. Stuff about the government, he called it out. Stuff about working, everything. I love his old stuff. But it's funny because, people laugh at reality and then you gotta be like, uh-oh, we shouldn't be laughing at this. This is serious at the end of the day. But what are you gonna do?
Yep.
So what do you got left for stickers? You got the hood, and you got 2 side panels?
Three hood pieces now.
That's all the hood.
These are
so
just
on this one. They did the stud. They covered the studs where the headlights are, right? Because on the Fast and Furious car, they didn't have. Oh, they do
so
still have it.
I got a printed
There you go.
headlamp,
Okay.
which is nice on a big curved piece.
Yeah, yeah. So they do some printed pieces for.
Well, now, like the
Decor.
last 12 months of Speed Champs, they've done some nice stuff. And of course, the newest wave this year is going to be even better.
Do they know what's coming out for the new wave yet?
We got
Or do you know?
5 cars.
This is a moneymaker for them. Look at they just pumping out cars like crazy.
Yeah, and they do so many with co-branded with the manufacturers.
So I wonder how much
Wow,
they're paying for the
licensing
license.
deals.
Yeah, but are they getting a good deal on these guys? Because licensing was never easy.
Some car companies are happy to do it as long as you're a quality company, and I have no doubt people have
Oh,
no
Lego.
issue. Lego,
They
done.
want that. Yeah.
Yeah. They probably
It's
get
like-
off on it. Yeah, sure, absolutely. Make sure I have 10 or 20 to hand out to my executives.
Because I know in the Transformers world, when they were trying to get licensing for when they did the real life cars as Transformers,
Mhm.
they all had issues with who was the one who did there's the rally cars, like they did Jeep and so Chrysler, Mercedes. No, Mercedes wasn't in any of the cars. I guess it was one of the SLS versions in the later run, but they did all that. They did all the car licensing, and damn it, if Volkswagen didn't want to be a prick about their stuff for a while there, it took them forever to get Bumblebee accepted into the crowd because they're like, we don't want to deal with war toys, toys with guns and blah blah blah. Like, suck it up, Buttercups.
Really?
Yeah, they were doing all that
Really?
stuff in the early
Oh, my.
2000s. Oh, because the other one was Jazz. Jazz is a Porsche, right? An old school,
I know.
right, with the branding, but that stupid the livery that it has, like the stickers and all that stuff. They had issues with that one because what was the other
What?
rally car? It was another rally car that they had issues with, but they ended up. It was because it had cigarette livery on it, like the sponsors were Marlboro.
Marlboro, probably, yeah.
Was one of them, but they ended up doing it anyway. But they pulled it after the fact, I think. So that's one of the infamous ones that pulled.
Well, I noticed they got in the new movie, the Porsche is Mirage's gimmick.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell? Even I know that's not right.
So they finally came back to getting them as close to real life cartoon versions, right? So at least he's back. But I still say that the characters, is it Bay making this Transformers movie? Is it his?
I think it's him again.
Because now what they've done in this new movie is that they brought back Beast Wars, the Beast Transformers.
Yeah, well,
like
this
the
is it,
animals.
the new movie, and I'm seeing
So I wonder.
that Mirage
what
effect. It's like, hey, that looks like Jazz, but that's the Mirage effect. So what's going on?
Yeah. So they're probably.
I
don't know.
I was a little disappointed with that.
Yeah, because even for Mirage, they did third parties jumped on it and they made him the real life race car. But in the Takara line, which is their home brand, like the original, they did a variant. I can't remember what it was, but it wasn't the true exactly the same one. No, I don't have any of that stuff with me to double check. But hopefully in the next couple weeks to month, we'll get all that my stuff resolved and get access to all that stuff again. So it should be fun. This year, I'm going to definitely launch something mega related stream-wise. It's going to be fun.
Good.
I'll get your advice with the camera stuff, the basic stuff, and then do some of this stuff on the reverse.
Well,
I don't know if you noticed, I got the King Arthur stuff behind me. I got a full set ship, the warship that moves, that had the gimmicks. And then there's a little tower set. So those will be fun little sets that'll be, fully complete and old school to show off a little bit.
That's
like I said, again, Mega's got to start releasing some generic stuff. Like, I just wish they would just pump it out, make some money to start investing in some of the newer, special projects and stuff like that. I hope Mattel has some good ideas in the future. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Because Mattel's running the show, right?
They might shock us.
Because even like those building boxes where they just give you a generic amount of stuff, like, send it. Let kids be creative again, like Lego used to be back in the day, where you just get a box of Lego, or you would have just Lego pieces and you got to figure out what the hell you're going to build, right? You know, I'd build a tower on 8 wheels or something, like, you know, every corner had a wheel, or, you know, just random stuff. We'll see.
I used to love anything I could put wheels on.
I know that was my Lego stint back in the day. It was just like, I'd go to my dentist's office and he had a box of Legos in the corner, and it's like, yeah, sure, let's go see what we can build before you have to go into your appointment. I still remember that. That's really funny. It'd be a little kiddie corner, and it'd just have random toys in there when people didn't give a
you'd
shit.
ask, you know, I want to go half hour early so I could have more time.
Play.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I had an orthodontist that had every single gaming console in his waiting room.
No way.
Everything.
Oh, you know what? Somebody
Everything.
in Scarborough
Is awesome.
had a dental office that was set up like Star Trek. And this was about 10 years ago. And I don't know if they made a go of it financially, like if they were able to keep that up.
Interesting.
But I'll never, in Scarborough. I mean, how cool would that to go on to like the bridge of the Enterprise?
Be very cool to, you know, kind of role playing something.
That was a huge investment.
Oh, for sure. Somebody was really a fan.
Like it was like a $100,000 setup.
Wow.
Just for that. Forget all his actual dental stuff, which of course, you know, you got that investment too.
Wait, and what's funny is that it's his business. That's a write-off. Right? Like,
that's brilliant.
That's super awesome.
As long as he doesn't call it Star Trek.
Yeah, I know.
He just has the look.
Yeah. I'm not going to get in trouble from anybody because there's no branding or anything, right?
No branding.
So was the bridge, or was it just themed like that?
I think it was the bridge, and then like even the hallways, you saw a lot of the L cars displays and.
Okay, cool. Could you imagine if like the chair you sit on to do your work is like a one of the chairs off the bridge, like that style? That'd be hilarious. It's like, yeah, sit here. Off you go.
Even if it's just the waiting room, like that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's something to take the edge off because no one wants to be there.
Yeah, because like in my orthodontist office, it was so you had the gaming systems outside, and then you go into the waiting room just before you get into your chair, and he'd have those little tabletop games, like the mini arcade ones, like little Donkey Kong or whatever it was. Dude, anything to keep you busy just before you know was just fun. It was just fun. And it's funny, it's like he's still around too. I had to go for changing a wire in one of my braces, like not braces, but one of the inside structure supports, and the guy's just like, yeah, still doing his thing, just, you know, living life. Nice. I'm like, good for you, bud. And that was like a good 20 years ago. 1995 till now, so we're almost looking 30 years ago. The guy's still going. They make good money, man. Everybody needs some sort of dental care, some sort of.
My original dentist, Kaliski, he was old as dirt when I went to him 25 years ago. And as far as I know, people still, you know, my family still goes to him. I don't.
Still goes.
I got a new one down the street, but tell you, you know, hey, it's a good job. Set up a dental practice, and it's just you print money, you know.
Oh yeah, it's insane for what they
you
charge.
Don't do anything stupid like you know, touch your patients.
Oh, the idiots. Yeah, no, that's just crossing lines. Yeah. Well, there's just speaking of crossing lines, CNN tonight and all the news channels are even in Canada, some idiot cops on a special task force pulled over a guy in Memphis and beat the shit out of him for no reason.
Oh, is that the one with the 5 cops?
Yep, that's the one.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
so
they were all fired almost immediately.
Fired and charged with second-degree murder.
And charged, yeah.
And felonious assault. Yeah, so they're done. And who knows who else is going to be involved, because the whole team outside of that showed up, even then, they were all kind of, nobody was doing their job right. So we'll see what happens. But it's big. So what's that thing?
What, this piece here?
Yeah,
well, they're using a transclear piece just for shaping.
You're going to hide the hairpiece in there?
I'm trying to hide the hairpiece in there. Because some of the builds I can, if I'm good with angles, I can.
Yeah, right there.
That.
Yeah, that should,
no,
there you go.
Quite.
Oh, it's still singing up.
That's okay. It'll sit in the passenger seat. Because
is there room?
All these other spares.
Yeah.
those will end up in the jar. So I don't necessarily want to have to manage the hairpiece by having.
Why do you have so many spares? How come in this set? What do you think? Is it a different build?
Well, that's what it is. I mean, that's how you end up with that after a year.
Holy cow. But you've got very specific spare parts there.
Well, it's all the small crap, right?
But like
That's
you
all
got
it is.
wheels? Is it different?
Well, no, it's just so
different
every
wheels.
Speed Champs gives you 2 sets,
Choice.
a 5
Okay.
spoke and
okay,
10
okay.
spoke or 8 spoke.
Yeah, that looks
typical
way
for
better.
Speed Champs the last 2 years, but
That one looks way better than the 5 spoke for sure.
Yeah, for this car, it works. I don't know if I like it blacked out, but
is that piece for the tail fin like a ski or something, like a snowboard?
It's like a snowboard.
It's a snowboard.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
And it's upside down, actually.
Oh, is it?
The one piece on.
Oh yeah. There it is. Yeah, right there. That's smart.
Have a good night, kiddo. But yeah, it's kind of nice.
Fun stuff.
Kind of looks like Spider-Man. I love it. I don't know if the
Which...
light. Okay, there we go.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Let's see if his hands will sit low. Some of these you build them and their hands won't fit in there. And let's see the helmet, the head. See, it's just borderline. The builds are just borderline that they fit the figure. Now, apparently, they lower on the new builds. They got a new panel on the bottom that drops the seats even lower. And that helps with the clearance issues to have an even more lower profile. Oh, I love how well that rolls. Oh my God, that's amazing. They do such a nice job of that. Which is funny because the 6 wides, yeah, they don't roll nearly as good. Now I've started using this new tripod, not new tripod. It's an old one that I've decided to start using again. So
how wide are these ones? 8 wide, Rick?
These are 8 wide. 8 studs wide. 4, yeah, 8. You can make an argument they're 9 the way the wheels come out, but yeah, these are 8 wides. Is that really on their own? Yep, that's it. Yeesh, I can't even lower that more. Shoot.
For what, the lighting?
The camera. What I've done by using this new tripod, which looks
that's a cool green. That's a cool green.
I'm using the same tripod all over the place. I've had them for years. Super versatile, but see, now that's as low as I can go. I can't actually get it level, which is what I usually try and do. What
is
the green?
The green metallic colored or
no?
Or
it's just a forest green they got.
Forest green.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, looks good.
Yeah, I like that. Not my favorite build. It's got some nice lines and shapes, and this is definitely new to me.
Yeah.
And new bricks I hadn't seen before, so that was nice.
So that was used for the wheels to be.
You know what's funny?
Right.
No, they weren't used to line up the wheels at all. They were just used as a weird mounting point. Like, honestly, they could have worked around it. It really didn't have much of a function. I was really surprised with that.
Gotcha.
It didn't add to the build at all. It just seemed like, hey, they got these parts now, and they were looking for an excuse to use them.
Could be, yeah. Or the designers somehow figured that fit the design better for that.
Well,
how do they? This is what I always wonder. How do they? How do the Lego designers come up with these designs? Like, so they look at this picture, they put this in a program somehow, and it comes.
They can,
up.
but some of them will do the practical first, and then work backwards, tear it apart, and as they're tearing it apart, put it in the software.
Yeah.
Because I know that's how a lot of designs are done. Like J.K. Brickworks when he did his stuff, trial and error. He builds it, 5-10 times till he gets what he likes, and then he starts tearing it down and doing using the software in reverse with a computer guy. But you can use basically the same tools Lego's using. You got stud.io, from BrickLink, which now Lego owns, and then you got the
Yeah.
original LDD, Lego Digital Designer, which is Lego's tool. And between the two, you pretty much have everything Lego has in-house.
Gotcha.
So you can, and of course, you could use that software. You can print instructions yourself. You can tweak them. I would say it's probably 80% of what they have in-house, but it's more than sufficient for anything anyone would want to do.
Mm-hmm.
When you go on services like Rebrickable, those instructions 90% of the time are built with one of those two pieces of software.
Gotcha. Because then these custom designers, like you said, they're gonna just try and find what looks good, and then they'll work back how to build it.
I mean, sometimes they'll work with they get a part like a new canopy or something, and that's like working backwards from that, and they feel inspiration from something that gives them a shape that or helps them with a shape.
Yeah, because in Mega, there's been a couple builds where somebody will take a windshield from one build and use it as something in another build completely different, and it works. If I forget which one it was.
You remember that ridiculous colored bird I made?
Yeah.
I was totally inspired by two flexible Technic panels that maybe you would use for wheel wells or something else.
Yeah.
And I realized, there's a lot of flex to them. I can use them as the breast of the bird, and they're very forgiving.
Yeah.
And I could actually kind of warp it out of place, and it wouldn't be a big deal.
Did you still keep that going, or did you tear it down?
I'm tearing it down in the morning.
Oh, you're gonna tear it down?
Yeah, I should have actually torn it down today, but
so you just randomly put that together, no instructions.
I did that live in front of you guys.
Yeah.
Just
awesome.
Took those parts, and after a few minutes, it's like, okay, this is what I'm going to try and do. And I've done a few bird mocks over the years, so I've got a basic concept of ways I can get to a certain endpoint. But that was first time using anything Technic related to do that. Usually heavy brick built stuff with just a lot of plates, but having a lot of Technic underpinnings there, it's like, oh, that was a different way to get there.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun building with this stuff. I wonder if you should one day have an idea of doing a mock day, like just random, like you did with the bird. Just build whatever from something from scratch. Grab a building blocks or something. I don't know if you have anything like that, but that'd be a fun thing to do.
What I used to do was I used to take basically sets that were a little cheaper than the Speed Champs.
Yeah.
And we did this in Lego Collectors Canada. And I set up a contest. We never really gave anything away. It was just bragging rights.
Just for fun, yeah. Just who could build what in like an hour or whatever.
Would participate. And it really sucked because while I set it up, it was open vote, but then I won half the votes if I participated, just because I was very we would allow people to make multiple submissions. We give them a month. We say, okay, here's this $13 set. It wasn't expensive, $15 tops. 150 pieces max in the set, and it was very specific. We always said it was this one set in a month, and I would make like 8 or 10 builds in that month because I loved it. Because I would take 1 hour, build it up. Because after an hour, like for every 100 pieces, about an hour. That's what I found was the magic number. Because you run out of parts, and you're getting frustrated because you want to do something you can't because you just don't have the parts.
Yeah.
1 hour for about 100 pieces, and you can do some really cool things. Usually, it helps. I always found it helped if something had wheels, because that really opened up the possibilities. Like, and it's not that I necessarily made cars. Like I made one of my favorite builds was the in Battlestar Galactica, the Vipers.
Yeah, the little.
I took the rubber wheels, and I made the 3 thrusters.
Oh.
That were on the back of a Viper. And I used that as the inspiration to build the rest of the Viper. And it come out looking really cool. I got some of the mocks. If you search on my channel for mocks, you'll see like there was 2 specific sets where I did like 15 or 20 mocks. And I just used the parts that were in that set. And I just had so much fun.
And that's the point. Yeah. Just random fun. No worry about instructions or anything. Just do it.
I just find it's hard to get anyone to want to do a mock or mock contest if you're not offering something for them.
Oh, you need incentives.
Bragging rights tend to not be enough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can make a post tomorrow in the Lego group or in the Mega group, but if we're not offering something,
You don't get to involvement
my
in
experience,
it.
it doesn't get much traction.
Yeah.
I was happy the last contest I did had 20 of us submit stuff, including me, so that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really impressed by the other submissions. As much as I liked what I did, it's like, oh my god, I couldn't believe what this guy did. One of my coolest ones, I did. I bet you it is on my page. I did an Optimus Prime bust.
Ooh.
Yeah, seriously.
From what? From what bricks? From where?
From like the 100 pieces of a particular set.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And it matched the colors and everything? Like
Oh
it,
no.
Oh,
But
okay.
it wasn't horribly mismatched, but it's very clearly a Prime
Gotcha.
lift. Let's see. Oh my god, please don't give me someone else's crap. Let's see if I go to my channel. Might have to go to. Yeah, okay. So it's easier if I go to my studio. And then I can search just across my channel. That helps. So 50 videos with mock in it. This shouldn't take long. And I said a Prime, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Extreme Engines mock number. Okay, so I'll. Okay. Where's the link? Whoops. Okay, let's not call it a great. Now that I'm looking back at it, let's not call it something great. But
Yeah.
what I'll do is I'll post it into the YouTube chat for this stream.
Sure.
And
I'll take a peek.
There you go. But I built about.
Okay, I see what you're talking. Yeah, and I get it.
But I did about.
So this is just it's a creative interpretation. Love it.
I took one set, 31072, and I did like 6 or 10 mocks that month. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Interesting. Yeah.
6, 7, maybe 8. I did an ATST. And a bunch of the actually, did I build them all online? What are my hours on them? Okay, some of them I built online, and some of them I just showed off what they were.
Yeah.
But like here, I took an hour. Here, I took an hour, and I built it straight in front of everybody. Wow, I spent 2 hours on. Oh, I made a gun. Yeah, I made a pistol. That was actually a good set because it had a lot of potential.
Cool.
But yeah, they were smallish sets, and it's like, yeah, they were a lot of fun.
Well, definitely gonna have to try some of that because I know Megan did some random builder boxes and stuff, and it was fun. Like I did it with my kid. We built like a bottomless snowman, rocket ship. I didn't have any wheels in this set, I don't think, but that kind of thing, and just let them just be creative with a random set. And that was from a race car 3-in-1 creator I saw. It was race car, like a F1 car. So that's cool stuff. All right, Rick, let's give her.
Yep.
Let's call it a night. And then I'll touch base with you tomorrow about that whole tech thing. See what you find out from your buddies.
Yeah, around 1 o'clock, I should know something because between 10 and 12, I'm going to be very preoccupied.
Yeah. You're going to learn how to set all your stuff up again.
I just hope the guy shows up.
And
I'm hoping it's quick. I'm hoping it's a 2-hour window.
2-hour window, yeah. That'll be fun.
I'm hoping that the whole thing could be done in half an hour. And I'm hoping there's no huge shock. I'm hoping I don't have to run the can of computers for anything.
It sounds like you have everything there that you need because it's all going to be plug and play now, right? It's all for the lazy, everyday person.
Well, this is it.
We'll see. Should. Okay. Well, enjoy your evening. Good night.
Take it easy.
Take care.
Peace.
Bye.
And